Welcome inside the Rose Hill Gym. I'm Sam Davis here with Mike Calamari. Mike, Fordham's had commanding victories over UIC and Holy Cross to start the Tom Konchalski Classic. Both wins by double digits. They're going to look to go 3-0 here against Stonehill tonight.
Yeah, and you think about last game against University of Holy Cross, and they only held them to 12 points in that first half. A terrific job defensively. They started to loosen up a little bit in that second half, allowing 41 points, but it was still a dominant effort. You had a great game out of Darius Quisenberry, who didn't shoot all too well, 1 for 8 from 3, but he did have a terrific job distributing the ball, almost a triple-double for him, and you'd like to see more from him in this one, but Fordham in a great position to go 3-0 in the Tom Konchalski Classic. Got to be excited about this one.
Mike, like you mentioned, Fordham a very strong first half against Holy Cross, 12 points allowed. The second half, they did struggle a little bit, let Holy Cross kind of back into the game a little, turn the ball over a lot. That's been a story all year long. They had 18 turnovers last game against Holy Cross. They're averaging 17 turnovers per game, a very high number for Fordham. Coach Ergo would like to see that number go down going forward.
Yeah, 328th in the NCAA in turnovers per game, and they also have a negative 5.2 average turnover margin against their opponents. That's not something that you see winning basketball teams do here in the NCAA. They're going to want to limit that, and this is the perfect time to do it. The non-conference schedules will start to figure things out. They have a confirmed ball handler at Antrell Charlton. We've seen him do a great job distributing the ball throughout the season, but you want to see him limit the turnovers, and if it starts with him, then it's going to contribute to the rest of the team.
You mentioned Darius Quisenberry, you mentioned Antrell Charlton. Those two guys attacking and finding ways to produce in the game in more ways than one. It's not always scoring. That's what Darius Quisenberry, obviously 2 assists away from a triple-double last time out, had a very solid day. Antrell Charlton, same thing, can kind of get involved in multiple ways for this offense. And to have multiple weapons that can not just score the basketball but have high assist numbers, they can also crash the boards. That's really important for Fordham offensively.
And I think one name we really haven't mentioned, Khalid Moore. When he's on, this is a different basketball team. 3 straight double-doubles for him, at least 10 points. He had 31 minutes versus Holy Cross. When he started to getting into the swing of things in that game, it really shifted. He's a difference maker. He has the length to be able to take it under the rim and go coast to coast with the basketball. He's someone that I'm looking out for in this one. If they get him going, then you have to think Fordham gets out to an early lead in this one.
Meanwhile, looking at Stonehill College, the Skyhawks are 2-4 on the year. It's their first year in Division I, and what they do and how they run their offense, a lot of motion. They play fast. They look to play in transition, very similar to what Fordham does. Stonehill is 1-1 so far in the Tom Konchalski Classic. They're going to look to fight back, but a team that has not had a lot of experience playing at the Division I level, just their first year.
And they're going to have to rely on their experience. Andrew Sims, 5th year here at Stonehill. He's going to be the difference maker, averaging over 17 points per game. He shoots at a high clip, over 50%. He's a tough competitor. He likes his points inside the paint, right up against the basket. Doesn't take a lot of threes, but he's aggressive in getting to the basket, and he's a strong finisher. Fordham needs to play him tough tonight because, listen, if Sims gets things going, that's how Stonehill will stay in this game.
Coach Ergo talked to us about limiting Andrew Sims getting touches of the basketball and making him putting him in tough positions to catch the basketball and work before scoring. We talked with Coach Ergo before the game about the win against Holy Cross and tonight's matchup with Stonehill. Take a listen. Sam Davis here with head coach Keith Ergo. Coach, double-digit victory last night against Holy Cross, but you did turn the ball over a lot. Once again, 18 turnovers, but a lot of positives, some negatives, obviously. What do you take away from that game last night?
Yeah, I mean, I think our energy and our effort in the first 20 minutes was as good as maybe we've had since I've been here in over a year. We came out and we challenged our guys. We hadn't gotten off to great starts other than the New Hampshire game. That was something we harped on for 48 hours, and they responded pretty well. They came out, and we did a tremendous job on the defensive end. Obviously, in the second half, credit to them. They came out. They played much tougher, much more difficult. They made some tough shots, and we turned the ball over a little too much. That's something that's been an Achilles heel for us since we started the season. We know that. Our guys are cognizant of that. They're trying, but we got to clean that stuff up. And because whenever we get shots, we give our chance, especially with our length and our athleticism, in second chance opportunities, and we need more of those. And also, you know, when we get shots up, it gives us an opportunity to set up our defense, which is pretty good in the half court.
Darius Quisenberry, obviously 2 assists away from a triple-double. A very good game for him. Overall, what were your thoughts on what he was able to do last night?
I'm really proud of him, honestly, because he didn't shoot the ball that well. His offensive game was not there. Credit to them and their length. They did a good job playing hard on him, but he did all of the other things that we talk about in our program, and that is the real growth of his game. To not be just scoring the basketball, to go out, rebound the ball, to be able to drop dimes like that. I mean, the amount of dives and charges he took. I mean, he was flying all over the floor. He was ready to play on both ends. Switched on their big, the kid Gates, did a tremendous job of chesting him in the paint. Just really played hard, physical, and some nights you're not going to make shots. And for him to understand how much he can affect the game other than just scoring is real growth in his basketball development.
The nature of a tournament like this is you get to see a team like Stonehill obviously playing in a game here yesterday, now playing against them here tonight. Overall, what were your impressions from Stonehill, and what are your takeaways from that team and game planning against them tonight?
I'm so impressed with what Coach has done with his program. They play so hard. They play so together. They're older, bunch of fifth-year guys. They know who they are. We have to be extremely disciplined because the way they run their offense, it is very, very similar to that of Davidson. A lot of cutting, a lot of communication, guys getting downhill. They got multiple guys who can score 20-plus points. We have to be extremely disciplined, try not to get in too much foul trouble, and just wall up and go rebound the ball.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham and Stonehill just a couple minutes before getting underway in this one. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Stonehill College Skyhawks. It starts at the top with number 2, Max Zagorowski, the graduate forward, like Mike talked about. A lot of age with this group, a lot of experienced guys. Same thing going down with Isaiah Burnett, the fifth-year guard, number 11, at a career-high 30 points last game against Holy Cross. 15 of 17 from the free throw line. Does a very good job getting to the line and drawing contact. The junior guard, number 12, Thatcher Stone, had 9 points against UIC. And then the graduate forward, number 21, Cole Bergen. Finally rounding out that starting five, the guy we talked about already, Andrew Sims, number 32. The fifth year from Mount Laurel, New Jersey, had 24 points and 9 rebounds, both season highs against UIC. Was also the NEC Player of the Week for the first 3 games in Division I history for the Stonehill Skyhawks. Meanwhile, looking at the Fordham Rams starting lineups, no surprises here. Your typical 5, starting with the guards. It's Darius Quisenberry, the graduate guard, number 3, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 assists away from a triple-double last game against Holy Cross. Kyle Rose, the junior guard, number 10, was 4 for 7 from behind the arc last game. Also led the team with 15 points total. Antrell Charlton, number 24, the junior guard, has been kind of a Swiss Army knife. That's what Coach Ergo calls him. Ability to impact the game in many different ways, but is prone to turning the basketball over. Had 5 turnovers last game against Holy Cross, also 4 fouls. And meanwhile, the forwards for the Rams, Abdu Simbila, number 36 points and 6 rebounds against Holy Cross. And finally, the graduate forward, number 2, Khalid Moore, had 10 points against Holy Cross, but just 3 for 9 from the field overall shooting. He's averaging 13 points per game. And Mike, looking at these starting lineups, give me a guy that kind of stands out for you from both sides of the ball.
And you mentioned his name, Isaiah Burnett, 30 points versus Holy Cross last time out. He got 15 of those points at the free throw line. He likes to get to the free throw line. That's what he wants to do best. He scores a lot of his points inside the paint. That's a lot of the Stonehill starters in this one. So that's someone I'm watching out for. On the opposite side, it's Abdu Simbila. We talked to Coach about him. He's someone that's grown in this season already early on. He's gotten better throughout it. He struggled a little bit in the UIC game. He looked a lot better last time out against Holy Cross. He's someone that when he gets things going, he's ferocious on the boards, and he provides some interior offense at times. So I'm looking out for him in both those. Those are the 2 guys I'm looking out for.
Stonehill College wearing their all-purple uniforms, purple shorts and purple jerseys with white letters and numbers on the front and back. They're going to be moving left to right. The Fordham Rams in their home whites with maroon letters and numbers. They're going to be moving right to left. This is the first time in the history of both these programs that they've played each other, so no series history between Stonehill and Fordham. Like we mentioned, Stonehill College, their first year in Division I as they're making the transition to the NEC Conference. And Abdu Simbila and Cole Bergen will line this one up as the referee bounces the ball and gets it ready to underway here from the Rose Hill Gym. Antrell Charlton quickly lobs it to Simbila in the right block, puts up the layup, short, rebounded there by Cole Bergen. And a quick hitter there for the Rams, but they couldn't get the layup to go. Bergen the other way for Stonehill. Passed it to Zegarowski at the right arc. Swings it to Stone, who swings it to Burnett. Now Andrew Sims, extended left block. Here's Sims. He's going to put up a fadeaway jump shot. It's nothing but net. 2-0 Stonehill on the board first.
And you're going to let him take that mid-range shot. If the Rams are going to allow him to shoot that ball, they're going to win this one.
Antrell Charlton at the top of the perimeter. Bounce pass here to Kyle Rose at the right arc. Pump fakes. Looks down in the right block. Passes it down there. Khalid Moore. He's quickly double-teamed. Spins. Gets the layup to go. Khalid Moore with a nice post move. Fordham ties it at 2. Here's Stone the other way for the Skyhawks. He's going to look to drive to the basket. Puts it up. Partially blocked by Simbila. And Quisenberry has it the other way for the Rams. They're going to push it in transition. Here's Quisenberry at the top of the key. Quisenberry looks to drive. Kicks it out. Charlton in the far corner. Charlton swings it. Left arc 3 more. No good. Off the back rim. Rebound is grabbed by Bergen. Here's Cole Bergen the other way for Stonehill. He's going to back down Darius Quisenberry. And Quisenberry takes the charge. An offensive foul against Cole Bergen. Fordham will have possession.
Yeah, and I thought it could have gone offensive foul after that first nudge Bergen gave. But then Quisenberry realizes that he was going to go right back to that, and then he almost kind of sells that charge there and able to win the call for the Rams.
Coach Ergo talked about that before the game today. The Rams defensively getting their feet set, drawing charges. They're able to get one here early on Cole Bergen. Bounce pass to Kyle Rose at the right arc for the Rams. He holds it at his hip, swings it around to Quisenberry. Fadeaway jumper at the elbow, too strong, rebounded by Simbila in the paint. Simbila lowers the shoulder. That's going to be an offensive foul. So back-to-back offensive fouls. That time it was Simbila lowering the shoulder.
Not sure about that one. You know, we don't have the great angle, far side of the court right there, but looked like Bergen was moving a tad as we take a look at the replay there, but a close play. But Abdul Simbila, he's getting involved in the offense early in this one, and you like to see that.
Definitely effort by Fordham to try and get the ball into the post early on, as here's Andrew Sims the other way. Sims has it for Stonehill at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, hands it off to Zegarowski off the screen. He has it at the right arc. Zegarowski drives towards the lane, now kicks it out. Here's Bergen at the right wing. Swings it to Stone. Stone's going to look to drive towards the right block. Jump stop, puts it up short, grabs his own miss, puts it up again. It's blocked. Antrell Charlton got the block, and the other way, here goes Quisenberry. Swings it to Charlton. Spin move at the left arc. Charlton into the paint, jump stop, kicks it out. Quisenberry into the corner. Moore for 3. He's open, and it rolls in. Khalid Moore gets that one to fall. Fordham's up 5-2.
And 2 extra passes there. Charlton had it inside the paint. He swings it to Quisenberry, then far side to Moore. Great ball movement by Fordham.
Isaiah Burnett has it for Stonehill. He's going to look to drive and does. Kicks it out into the corner. Bergen's open for 3 at the right. In the corner, it's good. And quickly the other way, Cole Bergen evens the score up at 5. 17:28 to go in the first half. Here's Kyle Rose, pump fake. He's at the top of the perimeter. Here's Antrell Charlton at the left arc. Charlton, he's going to look to drive baseline and does. Now swings it to the right arc. Rose for 3. It's short. Tipped up the rebound. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Stonehill possession.
You know, nice ball movement early by Fordham. Antrell Charlton, he's really being a distributor even when he's inside the paint, keeping his head up, keeping his eyes looking around the court. Finds Kyle Rose there for a pretty nice three-pointer, a pretty nice look. So early ball movement by Fordham that really gives you a lot of confidence about this offense.
5-5 our score. 17 minutes in the first half, so first 3 minutes into the game. Sims hands it off. Zegarowski right arc 3. Short. Rebound. Kyle Rose, and it's going to be a foul against Stone at the right block. And Fordham will have possession as Kyle Rose tried to rise above him and grab that rebound, but he's fouled.
And I think that's the great thing about Kyle Rose, his ability to jump. We've seen him so many times be able to chase down blocks, pin balls to the backboard there, going up, rising up, and extending the play, getting Fordham the ball.
Kyle Rose, very athletic, the junior guard, as Charlton has it the other way for the Rams. He's going to fake the handoff, drives towards the left block, backing down his defender. Charlton pass into the corner. Rose, the far corner. Rose between his legs, now passes it out to Quisenberry at the right wing. Quisenberry holds it at his hip. Still has it now. Through the legs dribble, has it poked away, but regains control. 5 in the shot clock. Quisenberry makes a move, trips on himself. Charlton's going to have to take a deep 3. No good, but Nowitzki grabs the rebound at the left block. Nowitzki goes to work. Lowers his shoulder, he's double teamed, loses control of the ball on the ground, and Stonehill recovers it. Burnett the other way, and it's deflected. Quisenberry gets the steal. The Rams back and forth. Here's Charlton towards the left block, drives all the way to the lane, gets the layup to roll in. 7-5, Fordham in front, 16 minutes in the first half.
As the outlet pass by Darius Quisenberry, that set the entire play up, and great finish on the other end by Charlton.
Here's Sims the other way, bounce pass to Muser into the game, kicks it out to Zagorowski. Zagorowski pass it back to Muser, the freshman, who hands it off to Stone. Stone has it at the left wing. Stone guarded closely by Quisenberry, hands it off Zagorowski. 5 seconds of the shot clock. Zagorowski kicks it out. Still has it, has to put up a three, and an air ball. A shot clock violation, a very good defensive possession for the Rams, forcing the shot clock violation. 7-5, Fordham in front of Stonehill. 15:37 to go in the first half. You're listening to Fordham basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, this is Will Richardson, guard for your Fordham.
What's up, everyone? I'm Danny Scott.
I'm Tyler Hu, and we're two of your hosts for WFUV's College Gridiron.
We'll discuss all the best games from around the world of college football.
We'll also talk about the rankings and give our thoughts on the Heisman race.
We'll preview the best games of next week and give our score predictions.
Keenan Troy and other co-hosts will join us as well.
Tune in to College Gridiron wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham in front of Stonehill, 7-5 early on here in the first half, the first immediate timeout. And Mike, back and forth action. Not surprised that both teams playing fast, still trying to push it in transition. That's what both teams do. But Fordham has a 2-point lead here at the first immediate timeout.
Yeah, and a pretty even back and forth early on. Tough to really come away with any conclusion. But one thing, Max Zagorowski, he's 1 for his last 11 from 3. He went 1 for 6 against UIC last time out. He loves to shoot the deep ball, but he's been cold from there. He missed 2 threes early on to start this one. So if I'm Fordham, I get him behind the arc. I try to force him to beat us by taking that shot. They've been doing a pretty good job of that early on. He's taken 2 threes, missed both of them. But continue that. Force him to take that shot and beat you there, and let him prove that he's going to be able to hit it.
It seems as if the Rams defensively are okay giving up some of those shots from behind the arc, because they know that Stonehill scores the basketball through motion offensively, through getting Sims opportunities into the paint. That's something that they haven't been able to do here early on.
And push Sims out of the paint. If someone else is going to take the shot, you let them beat you. But right now, Sims, the best offensive player on the team, you don't want it to be him.
As Fordham looks to inbound to get back underway here at the Rose Hill Gym, the finale of the Tom Konchalski Classic. Fordham 2-0 so far in it. Will Richardson into the game. He takes the ball up for the Rams, hands it off to Quisenberry. Bounce pass at the left arc to Charlton. Stonehill opening up in what looks like a 2-3 zone here as Charlton has it in his right hand, directing traffic, swings it to the right wing. Quisenberry back to Richardson. Back to Charlton at the left arc. Charlton pass it, Quisenberry straight on 3. It's good. Quisenberry rolls that 3 home. It's 10-5, Fordham in front.
And for a Fordham team that's been shooting so well from 3, the zone plays into your favor right now.
Quisenberry with 14 points last game against Holy Cross, 25 against UIC. As a basket here. At the end of the game, Shamir Johnson drives into the lane, and an offensive foul. Quisenberry setting his feet, drawing the charge. Another charge for Fordham, and they'll take possession.
Darius Quisenberry playing a little bit like Josh Colon Navarro with those offensive charges taken, so great job by him. He's doing it all, playing great offensively for the team, but also on defense. He's really turned himself into a very good defensive player.
Coach Ergo talked to us before the game about how impressed he was with Quisenberry's ability not just to score, but to do multiple things on the defensive side of the ball, grabbing rebounds as well. He shows his athleticism there, getting the charge, as Charlton has it at the hip at the left arc, swings it in to Moore in the corner. He's going to drive baseline, left block, picks up his dribble, passes it out. Charlton left wing 3, no good, way off. Rebounded there. The other way is Chaz Stinson into the game for Stonehill. He passes it to Johnson. Johnson has it at the top of the perimeter. He's going to look to drive. Passes down into the paint, and it's going to be deflected out of bounds. It'll be possession will remain with Stonehill as it was off of Fordham.
And a lot of ball movement by the Stonehill team. They love to move off the ball. A lot of cuts, a lot of off-ball screens, and that's what Coach Ergo talked about before the game. It makes them tough to defend.
Burnett will inbound underneath his basket on the baseline. Passes it over his head far, and it's intercepted by Charlton. Charlton goes the other way, goes up, tries to slam it home, but it's no good. Nowitzki tracks down the rebound, kicks it out to Moore at the right arc. Fordham will slow it down a little. Here's Charlton in the corner. Charlton behind the back dribble, drives into the lane, kicks it out. Swinging it around, here's Rose at the top of the perimeter. Rose looks to dribble through 2 defenders, goes to the ground, still has it, passes it out to Charlton, 2 in the shot clock, and then a turnover. Charlton throws it away. Stonehill the other way, here's Sims. Hands it off to Burnett at the right wing. Burnett's going to drive to the basket, jump stops right at the A-10 logo, kicks it out, there's Muser. Muser drives towards the left block, passes it to Sims, but right back to Muser. Here's Burnett at the left wing, guarded by Charlton. Swings it to Johnson. Now here's Stinson, drives towards the baseline. Sims is open underneath the paint and misses the layup. Rebound, and is it going to be goaltending? Looks like it will be, as Khalid Moore went up for the rebound, but they're going to call it goaltending, so Stonehill will be credited with the basket.
And there would have been a foul called against Fordham there, had there not been the goaltending call, but Fordham, they're playing Sims very physical on the interior. They really want to make him try to push his game outside the paint, and that's the defensive plan, but Sims still being able to get in there, that's his athleticism, and that's his work ethic to get into the basket and get a basket.
A little sloppy last couple of possessions for both sides. Fordham with 3 turnovers, Stonehill with 4 early on. 13:39 to go in the first half. 10-7, Fordham in front of the Skyhawks. Richardson has it at the top of the key. He's double-teamed quickly, and a foul. Stonehill swarming the ball there, double-teaming Richardson, but a foul is called as he's bumped, and Ramad Dean will check in for the Rams.
And definitely a bigger group. I think that's why Dean's coming into the game. Chaz Stinson, the smallest player on the floor right now for the Skyhawks at 6'4", and when you have Richardson and Quisenberry in there, you need some more height.
Chaz Stinson's played just 2 games so far this season, the freshman, getting action here early on. As Kyle Roseman inbound on the sideline, he passes it in to Will Richardson. Will Richardson bouncing the ball in his left hand, has it at the Fordham logo. Off of a screen from Simbilla. Double teamed quickly is Richardson. He loses control of the ball. Sims tries to save it and does, up to Muser, and it's blocked by Simbilla. Here's Rose the other way for the Rams. Rose at the right arc. Picks up his dribble, passes it to Richardson, who swings it across. Here's Ramad Dean. Darius Quisenberry has it at the top of the perimeter. Quisenberry directing traffic, still has it. He's going to look to drive. Now he pump fakes, picks up his dribble, swings it to Rose. Under 10 in the shot clock. Rose, right arc 3, and it's good. Kyle Rose drills that 3. Fordham goes up 13-7.
Great shot there by Rose, a catch and shoot. Real great at that, and he does an amazing job when he gets it and be able to put it up.
And a turnover here the other way for Stonehill. Rose has it, passes it up ahead to Richardson. Driving in the lane, and he's fouled. Will Richardson going towards the basket, picks up the foul, so he'll head to the free throw line for 2. And Fordham has been able to force some turnovers here early on and push it quickly in transition the other way.
And a really nice job by Will Richardson being aggressive to the basket. We've seen him hit some quite threes in the past few games, but being able to get to the basket, get to the free throw line, that's what you want to see more out of the freshman.
Will Richardson averaging 4.2 points per game so far in his Fordham career, and 17.8 minutes per game. The first free throw is good. Highly touted recruit, 4-star recruit, member of 3 state championship teams at Bergen Catholic High School. Was the all-time leading scorer there as well. A talented player. He's at the line. He has 1 more free throw here. Bounces the ball on the deck, puts it up, and it's good. The second free throw is good for Will Richardson, 15-7 over Stonehill. As the other way is Christopher Mellis checking into the game. Pass it to Stone. Burnett swings it down to the left arc. Now Zagorowski at the extended left block. He's going to drive, puts it up, no good, misses the layup. Rebounded there by Rose. Solid defense by the Rams. Quisenberry the other way, bounce pass. Richardson at the right wing. He's going to drive towards the lane. Picks up his dribble. Now he's double teamed, and another foul. Another foul will go against Will Richardson. 15-7, Fordham in front. 12:07 to go in the first half.
And Fordham 15-7 lead right now. They're really doing a great job offensively, but also on the defensive side of things, being physical and establishing themselves on the interior. And it's showing, and even on the offensive end, getting a lot of good looks.
Ramad Dean will inbound underneath his basket. Lobs it ahead to Richardson, who has it just inside the three-point line at the right wing. Now Quisenberry in that similar spot. He's going to jab step, take a deep three. It's good. Impressive three from Darius Quisenberry. Extends Fordham's lead, 18-7. Under 12 minutes to play now in the first half. Here's Stone, Zagorowski, and now it's going to be Christopher Mellis at the right corner. Mellis picks up his dribble, passes it to the left arc, driving in the lane. Stone kicks it out. Zagorowski three. He's open. No good. Another miss for Zagorowski. And rebounded by Dean the other way. Here's Fordham. Richardson passes it to Rose. Left arc three. It's good. Nothing but net for Kyle Rose. Fordham with another three-pointer. And a timeout is called. 21-7. Fordham in front of Stonehill with 11:27 to go in the first half. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Danny Scott.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Starting off with the A10, St. Joe's is hosting South Florida, and the Hawks are down 33-28. GW is losing to UC San Diego 13-9. Temple and Richmond are playing at the Barclays Center tonight, and the Spiders are down 5-4. Southern Indiana and St. Bonaventure are underway with the Bonnies up 5 early. In the top 25, number 13 Auburn currently leads Bradley 49-32. In the Maui Gym Invitational, number 10 Creighton and number 9 Arkansas are tipping off at 8 o'clock, and number 17 San Diego State is playing number 14 Arizona at 10:30. There are no home games around the city, but the Nets are traveling to Philly to take on the Sixers, and tip-off is scheduled for 7:30. The Rangers will head to LA tonight to take on the Kings at 10:30. The World Cup is in full swing of its group stage. Messi and Argentina were stunned by Saudi Arabia today 2-1. Both Denmark and Tanzania and Mexico and Poland drew today. And finally, the defending champs of France took down Australia 4-1. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Danny Scott.
Thanks, Danny. Back at the Rose Hill Gym, 21-7. Fordham in front of Stonehill College with 11:27 to go in the first half. And Fordham letting the threes fall here. They're 4 for 8 from behind the arc. 2 threes from Darius Quisenberry. He's 2 for 2. Kyle Rose hit a 3 there as well. Fordham has done a very good job shooting the basketball so far in the Tom Konchalski Classic and so far this season, as Stonehill's ready to inbound on the baseline. It's going to be Andrew Sims underneath his own basket. And the ref hands him the ball. We're back underway as Sims has it. Moving the ball over midcourt at the Fordham F logo. Andrew Sims holds onto it with his left hand. Hands it off to Burnett. Burnett down into the paint. Stone gets the layup to go. Nice motion there from Stonehill. 21-9.
And that back cut's exactly what the Skyhawks like to run.
Richardson hands it off to Rose. Here's Quisenberry. Passes it to Richardson at the right arc. He's going to drive all the way towards the basket. Kicks it out. Dean, who swings it. Rose in the corner for 3. No good. Good ball moving there for the Rams, but Rose cannot hit the 3. Burnett the other way. Pass it to Zagorowski, who swings it to Stone. Stone driving to the basket again, and another layup for Thatcher Stone. Back-to-back layups on back-to-back possessions. 21-11. Fordham up 10. 10:30 to go in the first half. Quisenberry has it at the Fordham logo, right at midcourt. Till Jim. Quisenberry passes it to Richardson at the right wing. Richardson passes it down in the paint. Another zone look for Stonehill. Kicks it out. Quisenberry left arc. Drives baseline. Swings it. Here's Dean at the top of the perimeter. And deflected away. Richardson has it. Takes a deep 3 as the shot clock expires. And it's short. Out of bounds. The Stonehill zone causing a little trouble for the Rams offensively.
In that zone, you want to move the ball around the perimeter and then try to find a high post to feed into the low post. The high post gets it. He's going to draw up that center, and then you get the low post back door underneath. But Fordham just having trouble moving the ball around the perimeter to allow for that, and that's really where the turnover comes from.
21-11, 10:09 to go in the first half. Sims has it for Stonehill, advancing it over half court. Sims holds the ball in his left hand. At the top of the key, guarded by Simbilla. He's going to look to drive. Fakes the handoff. Now he does hand it off to Johnson. for Stonehill. Drives in a lane. Picks up his dribble right at the A10 logo. Spins, puts up a fadeaway jumper. It's good. Stonehill, 3 straight baskets here. 21-13. They cut the deficit within 10 with 9:42 to go in the first half. Pass into Moore into the paint. He gets the layup to go. A quick basket for Fordham to respond. They're back up to a 10-point lead, 23-13 with 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. Andrew Sims has it once again for Stonehill. The big man takes it up for the Skyhawks, hands it off to Burnett. Burnett drives towards the lane, kicks it out into the corner. That's Stone. Stone's going to drive, jump stops, puts it up, misses off the glass, rebounded by Simbila. Here's Charlton the other way for Fordham. Charlton passes it to Moore. Swings it Quisenberry. He's going to take a deep 3. No good. Off the back iron. Loose rebound. Out of bounds. Possession will stay with Fordham.
And Fordham kind of slowing down a little bit offensively. Prior possession, a great feed by Quisenberry into Khalid Moore there. They want to find some of those passes to get into the post. Work the ball around the perimeter. Take your open shots, but work in the post against the zone if they do play you the zone.
Under 9 minutes to play in the first half, 23-13, Fordham in front of Stonehill. Bounce pass into the paint, Khalid Moore puts up the floater, gets it in. They're feeding Khalid Moore into the paint, back-to-back possessions there. He gets both to go. He leads Fordham with 7 points early on. 25-13, 12-point lead for the Rams. And Sims is bumped on the other end as he tries to hand it off to Burnett. Antrell Charlton picks up the foul. He had 4 fouls last game. Holy Cross picks up another one here as Burnett will inbound for Stonehill on the sideline. Passes it in, then gets it right back. Hands it off to Johnson. Here's Sims at the top of the key. Sims will hand it off to Zegarowski. He's going to take a right arc 3. It rolls in. Max Zegarowski finally hits a 3. Stonehill within 10, 25-16. Charlton the other way for Fordham. Here's Quisenberry at the left arc. Zach Riley into the game. He has it at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Quisenberry. Fordham trying to move around the zone. Stonehill. Here's Quisenberry at the left wing again. Looking to find it into the paint. It's tipped away, but right back in the hands of Charlton. Under 10 on the shot clock. Charlton down in the paint. Simbila catches it. 3 Stonehill defenders. Puts it up. It's blocked. Burnett the other way for the Skyhawks. Burnett passes it to Zegarowski. Here's Johnson at the right wing and Muser in the corner. Muser, jab step, kicks it out and swings it around. And a foul. Looks like that's going to be off the ball. And it will lead to our media timeout with 7:45 to go in the first half. Fordham in front, 25-16. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
What's going on, guys? Bridge Gotham here, your New York Giants beat reporter for WFUV Sports. Be on the lookout for weekly reports and game recaps on WFUV's YouTube channel. We'll be covering the action all season long. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at BGBridge for updates throughout the games. For all things Big Blue, stay tuned all season long.
Back at the Rose Hill Gym, 25-16, Fordham in front of Stonehill with 7:45 to go in the first half. And Mike, the last couple of possessions here, Khalid Moore leading the way, 9 points. He's 4 of 5 from the field. Fordham finding holes in that 2-3 zone, able to work the ball into the post, find Khalid Moore, and he's able to do the rest.
Yeah, and he's the perfect guy you want against the 2-3 zone. Someone who's long and is able to get a pass really anywhere they cut through the zone. So if you have someone, 3 guys around the perimeter, Darius Quisenberry at the top of the key, you want to be able to feed the ball into Khalid Moore, and then the defenders who are playing that bottom 3 have to make a decision. Are you going to play up on Moore, or are you going to try to play in between and still think about Simbila, who's playing at the bottom of that zone? So that's what they're trying to do, but they're having some trouble getting that passes into Khalid Moore. They got to slow the game down, work the ball a lot around the perimeter until they find that hole, have Khalid Moore follow the ball, and then once you get him it, good things will happen. But it's getting him the ball. That's the big one they need to work on.
Khalid Moore, the Georgia Tech transfer, was just 3 of 9 from the field last game. Did have 10 points against Holy Cross, but already with 9 here in the first half and 4 of 5 from the field. So a much better day for Khalid Moore so far in this one. Darius Quisenberry also, like we mentioned, a couple assists shy of a triple-double last time out, but does have 6 points, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. He did not shoot the ball great last game, but is finding a lot more success shooting the basketball so far in this one. He's right there with Kyle Rose, who's also has 6 points and is 2 of 4 from behind the arc. Fordham finding success shooting both from the field, 45%, and from 3, 5 of 12 overall from 3-point range. 25-16 our score as both huddles break up following the media timeout. Stonehill will inbound on the sideline. It's going to be Burnett with the referee waiting to give him the ball. 7:45 to go in the first half. Fordham has led for this entire first half so far, except when it was 2-0 Stonehill, as Sims has it at the left block. Sims backing down Simbilla. One-on-one, loses control of the ball, then puts it up. No good. Good defense from Abdu Simbilla. And the Rams have it. Quisenberry the other way. Bounce pass to Charlton. Charlton has it at the logo. Charlton hands it off to Zach Riley, still in the game. Here's Quisenberry at the left wing. Bounce pass to Khalid Moore. Khalid Moore is going to drive baseline at the left block, kicks it out. Quisenberry, right arc, takes another deep three. No good. That one's too short. Khalid Moore finds the rebound, puts it up. The floater off the back rim, no good. Rebounded there by Zegorowski. Stonehill the other way. Here's Burnett. Isaiah Burnett has it at the top of the key. He's going to look to drive to the basket and does. Lobs it up. Muser grabs it down. Triple teamed in the paint, but still gets the layup in. 25-18 under 7 minutes to play in the first half.
And they're really trying to establish that precedent inside the paint. Fordham needs to try to do their best job to push them outside and take tough shots behind the arc.
Ethan Muser had a career-high 7 points last game, the freshman, as Zach Riley travels here. Had it at the left arc. And a turnover for the Rams. Something that, for the most part, they've been able to keep in check. That's their 5th turnover today. Hasn't played a huge role in this one, but Stonehill has been able to kind of hang around as the Rams have not been able to extend their lead. It's 25-18 now, so just a 7-point advantage for Fordham as Sims has it the other way. Hands it off to Burnett at the right wing. Bounce pass, the extended right block here is Sims. Backing down Charlton. Spins, puts it up with the left hand, off the glass and in. Sims going to work there, and Stonehill's within 5. 6:15 to go in the first half. 25-20, Fordham in front. Charlton passes it to Rose at the left wing. Here's Charlton at the top of the key. Rose is going to take a contested three. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded there by Ethan Muser for Stonehill. Here's Sims the other way, carrying the ball up for Stonehill. He leads their team with 6 points, guarded by Nowitzki. Drives into the lane, puts his shoulder down, misses the layup. No fouls called as Sims falls to the ground. And a foul will be called here. Referees will stop play momentarily as Sims went to the ground after that layup. He missed it, wanted a foul, did not get it.
I think he looked like he was asking for almost a review of the call. He was motioning to try to get that call, and as the refs talk it over now.
So the refs will, like you said, talk this one over. Not exactly sure what the question is here, as Sims will talk with one of the referees near midcourt. It's going to be a tech, so it's a technical foul. And my thought is maybe they're calling a flop or something like that, because I know that that's something that they've cracked down a little bit on in the college game heading into this year.
I'm not sure if it's Sims maybe delaying the game by arguing or something of what you're alluding to, maybe a flop, but
whatever it is, it's one free throw and the ball.
And that free throw is enough to try to give some momentum to Fordham. Swing it the other way. A free throw now and possession, a basket later, it's an 8-point game.
Sims looked like he could have scored that layup as well. Instead, he misses it, and like you said, one free throw, now Fordham with the ball. Here's Charlton at the left wing. Stonehill still in that 2-3 defense. Khalid Moore has it at the right block, puts it up, and he's fouled. Khalid Moore did a nice job with the pump fake, is able to draw the contact, and he'll head to the free throw line. 26-20, Fordham in front by 6.
And getting to the line is going to be key for this Fordham team. When you're turning over the ball or you're having bad possessions offensively, resetting yourself at the free throw line, that's a big thing. And 2 free throws here by Khalid Moore may help them turn it into a 4-possession game.
Khalid Moore at the line, a 73% free throw shooter on the season. He hits the first free throw there. That's going to give him 10 points, leading the way for either team so far in the game. Khalid Moore will have 1 more free throw as Fordham now leads by 7. Bounces it on the deck. Moore has 1 more, and it's good. So Fordham is up 8, 28-20 with 5:30 to go in the first half. Sims once again carrying the ball up for the Skyhawks. He has it at the left wing. Sims driving towards the baseline, guarded by Nowitzki, and a foul. It's going to be against Rostik Nowitzki, who could not hang around with Sims there as Sims worked his way by him, and Nowitzki bumped him. So that'll be a foul. Burnett will inbound underneath his basket. Looks to pass it in, lobs it over the head of Nowitzki as Sims has it at the top of the perimeter. Sims holds it over his head, guarded closely by Charlton. And here is Stone at the right wing. Down into the right block is Sims, going to work again, and this time he traveled. Very quality defense there by Kyle Rose in the paint. A little bit of a mismatch, but he's able to force a travel.
And you know what? Fordham got away with one right there. Great off-ball movement and screening to get Sims in the paint on Rose. And if it weren't for a travel, probably an easy 2 points for the Skyhawks.
28-20, Fordham in front with now under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Charlton has it at the left wing. Picks up his dribble. Pass it into the corner is Quisenberry. Bounce pass back out to Charlton. Back to Quisenberry. Quisenberry, bounce pass to Rose at the top of the key. Rose down into the paint. Nowitzki goes up and slams it home. A nice find there from Kyle Rose, and Nowitzki does the rest. 30-20, Fordham up by 10. The other way, here's Burnett for Stonehill. Burnett guarded closely by Kyle Rose. Burnett drives in a lane, kicks it out into the corner. Stone for 3. Too short. Rebound is grabbed by Khalid Moore. He passes it to Charlton, who works the other way for the Rams. Charlton, here's Khalid Moore, pump fakes, drives, left elbow jump shot, rolls out. Rebound is tipped away, and a foul. It's going to go against Nowitzki. Already his second, just 6 minutes of action, and he's going to check out here as Simbila checks back into the game.
And Fordham, it looked like there was going to be some sort of pressure put on by the Skyhawks, but it almost seems that technical foul right there, 1 free throw later, put him to 6 points. Now a double-digit lead, 10 points here. And those are the type of things that can swing a game.
30-20 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Sims the other way for Stonehill, hands it off to Stone. And here's Muser at the right wing. Muser has it in the right hand. Crossover move, kicks it out. Zegorowski, who swings it into the corner. Burnett is going to drive baseline. Good defense from Rose again. Zegorowski passes it to Muser. Left arc 3, he's open. It's good. And Stonehill, anytime Fordham is trying to stretch that lead, Stonehill is able to climb back into it as they're now down 7, 30-23. 3:40 to go in the first half. Kyle Rose passes it to Charlton. Charlton at the right wing. He's double teamed, drives into the lane, has it at the elbow. Now picks up his dribble, kicks it out. Quisenberry. Pass it back to Charlton. Kyle Rose at the left wing. He drives into the paint. Rose is triple team there. Pass underneath to Simbila. Simbila goes up, and he's fouled as the shot clock expires. He got the shot off beforehand. So Simbila will head to the line for a couple of free throws on the shooting foul. 3:17 to go in the first half. Fordham up 30-23. Let's go back to the Rose Hill Studios for another one-on-one scoreboard with Danny Scott.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Starting off with the 8-10, St. Joe's and South Florida are at the half with St. Joe's down 37-30. George Washington and UC San Diego are playing tonight, and the Colonials are down 32-21. Temple and Richmond are at the Barclays Center tonight with Temple leading 16-10. The Bonnies are hosting the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana with St. Bonaventure up 24-22. In the top 25, the Maui Gym Invitational has a stacked field, and tonight number 10 Creighton and number 9 Arkansas are tipping off at 8 o'clock, and number 17 San Diego State is playing number 14 Arizona at 10:30. There are no home games around the city, but the Nets are traveling to Philly to play the Sixers for Ben Simmons' first game back in Philadelphia. The Nets are currently up 6-2. The Rangers will head to LA to take on the Kings at 10:30. The World Cup is in full swing of its group stage. Argentina was upset by Saudi Arabia today 2-1. Denmark and Tunisia drew today, and Mexico and Poland drew as well. And finally, the defending champs of France took down Australia 4-1. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Danny Scott.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Gym. Fordham in front 30-23 over Stonehill. And like I mentioned shortly before that media timeout, this game has kind of gone back and forth. Fordham at times has extended their lead beyond 10 points, but then Stonehill has still kind of found a way to work their way back into it. They've done it here once again, and 7 points is the deficit. They're kind of hanging around here in the late stages of the first half.
Yeah, and Fordham has done a good job getting out to the lead, but they really haven't had that moment where they've been able to put away the Skyhawks. Skyhawks, a great team, and a lot of it is because of the challenges they pose on the offensive end. A lot of off-ball screens, a lot of movement. It's an offense the Rams haven't seen much of early on in this season, and it can be challenging. A lot of experienced guys on the Skyhawks side, a lot of fifth-year talent, a lot of seniors, and the Rams have a lot cut out for them on the defensive end, but luckily they've done a good job offensively getting to the free throw line and putting up good shots.
Speaking of experience, Stonehill is led by a lot of experience. The 10th season for Kris, the head coach, the lone Canadian head coach at the Division I level, as Simbila is at the line for 2 free throws for the Rams. With a 7-point lead, he spins the ball, and the first free throw rolls out. Abdou Simbila will have one more. Exactly 6 rebounds in every single game this year, so he's been a rebounding presence consistently for the Rams. The second free throw is good, so 31-23, Fordham in front. Here's Sims taking the ball up, one of those experienced guys for Stonehill, the 5th year. Sims has it, hands it off to Burnett. Burnett at the top of the key, bounce pass in to Sims, extended left block. Sims faces up his defender, looks to drive on Khalid Moore. Fadeaway jump shot, nothing but net. Impressive move there from Andrew Sims. As we're under 3 minutes to play, 2:50 to go in the first half. Fordham up 6, 31-25. Here's Darius Quisenberry, swings it to Charlton at the left wing. And a lob, and Khalid Moore slams it home. Antrell Charlton with a pretty pass to Khalid Moore, who dunks it home for Fordham, 33-25. 2:20 to go in the first half. Burnett, bounce pass to a cutting Stone. He tries to dunk it, but it's no good. The ball rolls out of bounds. Fordham will take possession. Good movement there by Stone to the basket, but he couldn't finish it off with the dunk. 33-25 with 2:20 to go in the first half. Charlton will bring up the ball for the Rams. Holding it in his left hand, Antrell Charlton looks to bounce pass it in, but it's a turnover. Stolen. Burnett saves it, passes it to Stone the other way, goes up for the layup, misses it. Rebound. Stone tries to save it. Tipped up. Still a loose ball. Charlton has it back. The Rams the other way. Charlton. Pass it to Quisenberry. Right arc three. No good. Rebound by Simbila in the left block. Simbila double teamed and a foul. Abdou Simbila grabbed the board on the offensive rebounding, and he's fouled there. And with Fordham in the bonus, Simbila will be at the line for a 1-and-1. A minute 51 to go in the first half. 33-25, Fordham in front.
And the defense Stonehill has played has led to a lot of possession time for Simbila underneath the basket, and that's led to him going to the line quite a few times already. Just 1 point. But he does establish a force underneath the basket, and he can provide some offense at times, and especially against a defense like the Skyhawks.
Simbila back at the free throw line. This time it's a 1-and-1, and he hits the first one. So Simbila will have one more, looking to extend Fordham's lead back to 10 points. As Simbila bounces it on the deck, spins the basketball. The second free throw is no good. So 1 for 2 once again from the line for Abdou Simbila. 34-25, Fordham up 9. Sims has it for Stonehill at the left wing, drives towards the left block. Backing down, Elijah Gray, pump fakes, fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebound tipped up, and Rose has it for the Rams. Quisenberry advances it over half court in the near side, passes it to Charlton. Charlton at the right wing. An offensive foul as Abdu Simbila was working in the paint underneath, guarded there by Sims. So it's Simbila's second foul, 6th on the team. So the next one will put Stonehill in the bonus, but just 1:21 remaining in the first half as Khalid Moore will check back into the game. Simbila's out.
And I honestly thought Sims could have got a call on the other end, and he ends up being able, the person that wins the offensive foul call against Abdul Simbila. He's playing tough all game long, and he's really the heart and soul of this team.
Burnett the other way, hands it off to Stone. Here's Zagorowski. Here's Johnson. He's going to take a straight-on three. No good. Rebounded by Rose. Fordham will let Stonehill shoot the three. As Charlton the other way, splits the double team into the paint, kicks it out. Rose has an open three. No good. It's short. Khalid Moore grabs a miss and gets the layup. Khalid Moore, perfect positioning in the left block, was able to grab that rebound, gets the layup to go. And Fordham's up 36-25, 45 seconds to go before halftime. Sims bounce pass to Johnson. Johnson has it. Shamir Johnson swings it to Sims, who gets it back to Burnett, looks to drive, and he's fouled. Kyle Rose picks up the foul there. That's his first. 33.6 seconds to go. Fordham up 11. As with that foul there, Stonehill's into the bonus, so they'll have a 1-and-1. It's going to be Isaiah Burnett, who's yet to score so far today. He had 10 points last time out against UIC and 30 against Holy Cross. He's at the free throw line here, gets the free throw to go.
And Burnett, 15 free throws in that game. He likes to get to the line. That's where he scores, at least in Holy Cross's game, half of his points. He scores a lot of them there, and it's good that he finally gets the line and get things going. 2
free throws are good there from the free throw line. He was NEC Player of the Week last week. Stonehill had NEC Player of the Week for the first 2 weeks of the season. Very impressive just in their first couple weeks in Division I, as a timeout will be called by Coach Ergo and Fordham with a 36-27 lead over Stonehill. And Mike, just a couple more possessions before halftime. Fordham is going to look to do what they've tried to do and done all first half, is just stave off Stonehill, keep the lead comfortable for the Rams so far.
Yeah, and even a basket, no basket, 11-point lead, or at least 9 right now, that's a pretty good lead going into halftime. You get a basket here, obviously double digits are going to take that, but they've done a good job against a tough, hard-nosed, gritty team so far in this first half. They've been able to limit the turnovers to an extent. 7 turnovers. It's not what you want to see, but you've seen worse out of this Rams side. And also the rebound battle. They're out-rebounding Stonehill right now, 22-12. That's been a huge difference maker for the Rams. In games they out-rebound the other team, they're undefeated. When they get out-rebounded, they're winless. That's a huge number to watch. Continue to win the rebound battle. They're doing that. Try to limit these turnovers. Everything else is going well for Fordham.
Fordham with 7 team fouls so far in the first half. That's one thing you don't want to do, is put Stonehill on the line, as they were 80%. They're 80% from the free throw line this year. That's first in the conference in the NEC. As Charlton hands it off to Rose, as Fordham will waste some time. Just 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. 20 seconds on the game clock. So most likely just about the last possession here in the first half, as Rose has it, under 10 now on the shot clock. High screen from Elijah Gray. Here's Rose, crossover move, looks to drive, kicks it out in the corner. Charlton, and he stepped out of bounds. A bad mistake there from the Rams, which will give one more possession to Stonehill, as Charlton caught the ball on the sideline and he was out of bounds. So 5.4 seconds ago, Stonehill now calls a timeout as the Rams are up 36-27.
Yeah, and
36-27, Fordham in front with just 5.4 seconds ago. A quick timeout there from Stonehill, as they're announcing on the Jumbotron here. Ryan Archie Diacono at the game here tonight for the Fordham Rams. You can check him out at halftime. Mike Calamari will be interviewing him, asking him a couple questions here as he's taking in some Fordham Rams basketball on a Tuesday night. And the Rams are in the lead, 36-27. Just one more possession here before halftime. Stonehill passes it in deep. Here's Sims. He has it. Puts up a deep contested three. Rebound is snagged there by Charlton. And that will do it for the first half. 36-27. Fordham up 9. And we are going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one halftime report with Kris Pursianen.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome into the WFUV Studios here at the Rose Hill campus in the Bronx. I'm Kris Pursianen alongside Danny Scott here to break down the first half of action between Fordham and their opponent Stonehill here. 36-27 your score at the half. Danny, I want to get right into trying to tell the story of this game. Neither team particularly efficient from the field. Stonehill 11 for 27, Fordham 12 for 29. So not a masterclass from either side here in putting the ball in the basket necessarily, but there's a reason Fordham has the lead they do here at the half, and I think you got to look right to the rebounding battle. Now, 12 rebounds for Stonehill, 22 for the Rams, and you look to those offensive rebounds. Stonehill has 1. The Rams have 7. To me, those differences in the amount of possessions these teams are able to have is the real difference maker. And even though I will say, neither team is, again, lighting it up from the floor here, the Rams are getting a pretty good contribution from Khalid Moore, especially in terms of his efficiency. 5 for 8 from the field, 13, and I believe if he scored at the end there, that's 6 for 9 on 15 points for him here at the half. Just a really efficient performance from him thus far. How important is it to you for these Rams to have, the graduate year player, this veteran stability that Moore gives them, especially out there on the perimeter?
Yeah, absolutely. A guy that we have talked about a lot this year, not even just us and particularly talking about Fordham, but as a collective at FUV, is Chuba Ohams. He's a guy that was very special for Fordham, very, very good. And then you have Khalid Moore, and that becomes kind of that replacement. He's averaging, right around 13 points a game. He's at 13 right now. Does kind of everything for the Rams. The graduate student from an ACC school where, he was a good rotational piece for him, but he comes in, and I think it really proves how big of a difference there is in that level of competition between some of these major Power 5 schools, that he's able to come in and be so dominant and become a leader right away.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get right back to breaking down the action here at the Rose Hill Gym, but we're going to send things back to the court where we have New York Knicks guard Ryan Arcidiacono ready to talk about these Fordham Rams.
Welcome into the Rose Hill Gymnasium. Michael Calamari here, now joined by former Villanova Wildcat and current New York Knicks Ryan Arcidiacono. Ryan, thank you so much for doing this.
I appreciate you having me out here.
So first, I just want to start with, you're here at the first half. What were your takeaways from the early moments of basketball?
Yeah, I walked in like a minute into the game, but it's great to see the Rams on top. I'm here supporting my buddy Henry Lowe. They were able to penetrate, create some open looks for the guys out on the perimeter, and finish at the rim as well.
And you mentioned Henry Lowe, Director of Player Development here at Fordham. He was your teammate at Villanova. What's something you think he brings here to Fordham that fans may not know about him?
Henry Lowe is great. He brings a tenacity to him, to the coaching standpoint, and as a player, he was a great teammate, and he knows winning as a coach, as a grad assistant at Villanova, and as a walk-on as well. So he's going to bring a wealth of knowledge to the players and the coaching staff and just help build Fordham culture.
Now, does coming to a game, a Division I basketball game, bring back any memories of your time at Villanova playing basketball?
Yeah, definitely. My fiance just asked me, she was like, do you miss playing in college at all? I was like, I actually do, because there's some great environments out there, playing with your buddies, your roommates, and, everyone out there thinks that, playing for money is the best thing. I'd go back and give that all the way if I can play at Villanova another day and play with all my buddies and live with them and be in that college environment.
And, mentioned playing in college, having played at the highest level in basketball at Villanova. Has there been anyone on the court here tonight that stood out to you, or maybe a few players that caught your eye?
No, definitely. I think number 2, Khalid Moore, he's been playing well. I think that the one thing I'm noticing since I saw Fordham defensively in front of me in my seats They talk a ton. They communicate with each other great, and they're able to help each other out on there. And Stonehill hasn't really been able to penetrate them and finish at the rim as well as I'm sure they would like to kick out for threes. But Fordham's doing a great job of just communicating and making some plays for each other. They just got to come out and do it in the second half.
And we've talked a lot about your Villanova career. Another teammate of yours, Jalen Brunson, he's now with you on the New York Knicks. Does this New York City feel now kind of home to you as a basketball home?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Finishing up here last year, playing 10 games or so was an unbelievable experience. Then making the team this year and having Jalen sign and doing everything he's been doing, it's great and amazing to see. And luckily I'm there to practice hard and just be the best teammate I can be and hope for and wait for my opportunity. But until then, New York has definitely become a solid little home for us.
And while you're playing with the Knicks, how often do you get to sit back, watch a college game, whether that's on TV, in person like tonight?
This is my first college game of the year, seeing the Fordham Rams. My brother plays at Villanova, so I'm going to try to catch his games. But other than that, my fiance goes to so many of my games, and when we're at home, she's trying to watch shows and movies and stuff. So I let her slide with that. But I'll definitely try to get out to as many Fordham games and watch as many as I can.
Brian Arcidiacono, New York Knick, former Villanova Wildcat. Thank you so much for joining us on the Halftime Show.
Appreciate you having me on here. Go Rams.
We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill Studios with Kris Pursianen.
We are back in the Rose Hill Studios. Kris Pursianen alongside Danny Scott, ready to continue breaking down the first half of action here between Stonehill and these Fordham Rams. Ryan Arcidiacono of the New York Knicks with a shout-out for number 2, Khalid Moore. Danny, you and I were just talking about what he brings to the team, the offense, the defense, the stability. Someone else who brings a little bit of that veteran experience to the team is Darius Quisenberry. Now, a near triple-double for him last night. Listen, what does Quiz need to do in this second half to get a little more comfortable asserting himself? He's 3 for 7 from the floor. He's 2 for 5 from 3. So clearly not having an awful game offensively, but we know Darius Quisenberry usually gets a little more done, gets a little more active. What do you think it is about this Stonehill team that's maybe hindering that? Or would you say that with his 4 assists, he is making his imprint on the game, just not in that usual way of his?
Yeah, I do think that he is making some type of an impact on the game.
I think, you got to look straight to the impact he makes with his playmaking and the way he's able to set teammates up, find them, and create those easy buckets. Now, you saw him with 8 assists yesterday, went into halftime with 7 or 8 assists, wasn't able to close out the game with a triple-double, but he just kept making smart plays for the Fordham Rams and continued to give them chances to win the game. Full hustle out there on the defensive end. Quisenberry, not the most large build physical stature-wise, but almost like a bulldog out there, just trying so hard to give the other team fits. What do you make of his presence on the team? Quisenberry, another graduate student, but this time a guard. How important is it for this Rams team to have him around?
He's definitely very important to this Rams team, and I want to go back to a quote that Ryan Gregor said last night when he was calling the game. He said, Darius Quisenberry is like a microwave. He can get hot in 1 second. And so I expect him to come out kind of firing in the second half. He's a guy that's not going to let a little bit of a slump stop him from shooting because he knows how important his scoring and production is to the Rams team. 4 assists, I do think that's leading the game right now. So he is making some type of an impact. Maybe not the rebound numbers that we saw last night, but he's not a guy that gets a lot of rebounds. So if he just, if he sits right around his average, gets to that 17-point mark per game, I think he's in a very good spot. He's a leader, vocal leader, leads by example for this team. He's very important in just more facets than being able to score the basketball or get a couple assists.
Absolutely, and I love the way you point out, the almost, I don't want to say Energizer Bunny, but just the contagious positivity that Quisenberry brings to the team, always trying to, even the teammates that are in younger grades than him, always trying to imprint on them a good work ethic, keep the main thing is a big quote of his, and going early to the gym. Someone else on this team that I think could benefit Fordham by asserting themselves a little more offensively, I got to look to Kyle Rose. Now, 4 3-pointers from him last night. Tonight, he's taken 6 shots from the field. He's made 2 of them.
All 6 of those shots, all 2 of those makes, were from beyond the arc. Rose really not doing a lot to get inside the paint to penetrate the Stonehill defense and give them trouble on the inside. I think he could unlock a whole other dimension of his game here with the drive and kick if he's just able to get into the paint. Now, he has been moving the rock. He has 2 assists tallied up here at halftime. What do you think about Kyle Rose and how he could better impact the Rams here in the second half? Because I think the fruit is pretty low-hanging.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with you on the fact that he needs to be driving more. He's a guy for the Rams that is kind of that spot-up shooter and has been. He's your 3-and-D guy. He doesn't bring the ball up to court. A Klay Thompson-esque player, if you will, a guy that's going to play phenomenal defense and knock down 4 or 5 3-pointers a game, and that's exactly what he did last night. And then you got Darius Quisenberry, who's that fantastic driving guard, and even Antrell Charlton, who is kind of the ipso facto point guard of this team. So he kind of drives the ball into the paint as well. So I like Kyle taking those 3-point shots. I do not necessarily disagree that he could become a little bit more than one-dimensional that he kind of has been so far, but the defense, he already has a steal, 4 rebounds, currently leading the game in rebounds right now from that guard position. So Kyle's a very, very important factor of this team, and along with like what I said about Darius Quisenberry, he's another guy that I think has showed a lot of leadership. He's very vocal out on the court, and he doesn't really get too frazzled very often. He's pretty level-headed that I've seen out on the court. However, he's fiery, and that's what I really enjoy watching about him. He's amped up out there, but he doesn't let it get to his head.
For sure. I love that insight. I want to turn to 2 more Rams quickly before we wrap up our halftime discussion here. Abdou Simbila, 13 minutes, 2 blocks for him already. Abdou out there showing why he is Fordham's shot blocker. He is the guy on the Ram team to shut down those small guards on other teams. Talk about what Abdou means to this Ram team. Do you think it affects their approach defensively that they can kind of lean on him a little bit, knowing he's behind them?
Yeah, definitely. He's a big body down in the paint, and you send these little point guards down in there, they got to run into Abdou. So I think him having 2 blocks is perfect for what the Rams need him to do. He doesn't have he has 2 points, on 2 free throws, but they don't need him to be a 10-point scorer a game. They need, 6 points, 10 boards, and 3 blocks from him. And if they can get that from him every single time out, that's going to be very important moving forward.
Absolutely. The last Ram I wanted to highlight, one more player that I think could benefit from being a little more aggressive. This has been the theme of the show today for us, Danny. Will Richardson. We know he's a smaller guard, doesn't necessarily have the bulkiest frame, but man, is he skilled when he's able to get that ball in his hands, show off his handles, and get inside to the paint. He's 0 for 1 from the field thus far. What can Will Richardson do to get his fingerprints all over this one in the second half?
Yeah, maybe get a few more minutes. He's only played 5 minutes so far in this one, but like you mentioned, a very, very skilled guard for this Rams team. The true freshman, he's come off the bench. He's been the 6th man for him for most of the season, most of the season thus far. So he's very important to what the Rams want to do. When he comes in, it kind of feels like even though he may not be making an impact on the game, he opens the game up more for the rest of the offense. He's a guy that they got to kind of look towards. He's a guy that's going to be able to facilitate well. And like I mentioned, he's only a true freshman, so he's got 4 years on this Rams team. He's learning under Darius Quisenberry, under Antrell Charlton, under Kyle Rose. He's going to be a guy that's very, very good.
Like you've talked about with Quisenberry's rim pressure, it helps the Rams offense a lot to have someone that can buzz around that basket and really make things difficult for the defense. We're going to see how the second half unfolds in this one back at the historic Rose Hill Gymnasium. Sam Davis, Mike Calamari going to take you through over there. Thanks for tuning in to the Fordham Halftime.
It's 90.7 WFUV New York. Listener-supported public media from Fordham, the Jesuit University of New York. On air, online, and always commercial-free.
Welcome back to the Rose Hill Gym for second half action here. Just about a minute and a half before the second half gets underway. Fordham in front, 36-27. Fordham led the way for the majority of the first half. Stonehill's only lead was 2-0 in the first minute of the game. Fordham's largest lead was 14 points, but for the majority of that first half, it was sitting right around 10, maybe a little bit less. That's kind of where we sit right now. Looking at the Rams, leading the way is Khalid Moore with 13 points for Fordham, and leading the way for Stonehill is Andrew Sims with 8 points. An impressive first half from Khalid Moore, who's been able to kind of have his way in the paint for Fordham overall. Mike, impressions on that first half?
Yeah, I think it was a great first half from Fordham. I think Stonehill did a really good job considering they're a team that likes to attack the basket. They had 14 points in the paint. That's the same as the Rams did in this one. So you like to see that at Stonehill, but they're getting killed in the rebound battle, being out-rebounded 22-12. And that's something this team has struggled with this season. Coming into this one, they only averaged 28.2 rebounds per game. That is last in all of Division I basketball. They have had 34 rebounds in back-to-back games versus Holy Cross and UIC, but arguably Fordham might have the most size in this Tom Konchalski Classic out of all the teams. So that's definitely presented a challenge for them. If the Skyhawks want to get back into this one, they're going to have to be assertive on the boards. They're being assertive inside on the offensive side of things, but they need to be able to get second-chance opportunities, and they need to be able to start winning the rebound battle. But Fordham, they're doing a good job on the rebound battle, and they're doing a really good job shooting and taking care of the basketball compared to some past games they've had. So some good things out of the Rams, some things the Skyhawks need to work on to get back into this one.
And Fordham, last game against Holy Cross, a very good first half. The second half, not so much. They led Holy Cross back into the game. A little bit different scenario here as Fordham with a smaller lead than they had last night against Holy Cross. But they will still hope to maintain that lead as the second half of action is back underway. It'll be Andrew Sims having it for Stonehill at the top of the key. Sims, pass it, Zegorowski, he takes a three. Short off the front rim. Simbila grabs the rebound for Fordham. Here's Quisenberry the other way for the Rams. Pass it to Charlton, who swings it to Rose at the left wing. Bounce pass, extended left block. Here's Khalid Moore going back to work, kicks it out. And Rams swinging it around. Here's Quisenberry now at the right arc. Now bounce pass into Simbila at the right block. Jump stop, kicks it out. And a deep three from Khalid Moore. It's no good. It's in and out. Rebounded there by Cole Bergen for Stonehill. Here's Zegorowski the other way. He's going to fake and drive to the basket, and the ball rolls out of the rim, but he is fouled, so Zegorowski will head to the line for two.
And take you back in possession there. Stonehill's in that 2-3, and they get the ball to Khalid Moore on the far right block. He gets it back out onto the wing. Fordham's got to rotate that ball quicker around the other end to try to find another block opportunity on the other side or an open jump shot from the three-pointer. They have to be quicker with the ball movement against the Stonehill zone.
Zegorowski hits the first free throw, and that's something Fordham did well in that first half. Against the 2-3 zone, they were quick moving the basketball. That's the key to success against a zone defense.
And once Khalid Moore sees that double team, get it out and move the ball around.
Zegorowski hits the second free throw as well. He's now got 4 points on the day, but just 1 for 5 from behind the arc, like we talked about. Some serious struggles in the last couple of games. Just 2 for 11 from three-point range as Rose has it at his hip at the right arc. Bounce pass into Khalid Moore at the right block. Goes to work on Sims. Now he's double-teamed, kicks it out, and a travel's called. So Khalid Moore draws the double team but can't get out of it. And it's a turnover for Fordham.
And another double team on Khalid Moore on the block. They've made an adjustment. Now it's up to Fordham to try to make a counter adjustment. Find a way to get the ball back onto the three-point perimeter when Moore gets it in the low post.
As here is Sims for Stonehill, the Skyhawks. He has it at the extended left block. Guarded by Simbila there. Now picks up his dribble and passes it out to Burnett at the left wing. Burnett guarded by Charlton. Burnett shakes his move, drives, teardrop floater off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Simbila. He passes it to Charlton, who gets it up to Rose. Rose at the left wing. Here's Quisenberry at that same spot. Behind the back dribble. Passes it to Moore. Moore holds the ball over his head. Here's Rose. Step back. Passes it Quisenberry left wing. Drives into the lane. Quisenberry kicks it out to Charlton. Charlton at the left elbow stops. Quisenberry right arc three. Short. Rebound is tipped up by Moore. He's still fighting for it, out of bounds. Stonehill takes possession.
And credit to the Skyhawks. They're playing great man-to-man defense when they go into that, and they're going back and forth between that and the zone. It's tough to establish an offense when the opposing team is changing their looks constantly. And Fordham, they're getting some good shots. A great chance there by Darius Quisenberry. Doesn't get it to go, but credit to Stonehill. They're doing a great job defensively to start the second half.
Fordham open up with a little bit of pressure here in the backcourt. The pass is into Sims, and he will have it up Past the midcourt line. Here's Sims through the leg dribble. Right arc. Pump fakes a three. Bounce pass to Stone. Here's Zagorowski at the left wing. Burnett at the top of the perimeter. Burnett holds it in his left hand. Now picked up by Kyle Rose. Tipped away. Out of bounds off of Burnett. Solid defense there from Rose, able to force a turnover.
And he's been so good defensively. One of the things Coach Ergo talked about, he started to concentrate and work on his defense, and that's really led to him being such a great offensive player because the offense is just coming instead of him forcing it.
Darius Quisenberry has it at the Fordham Block F logo. Passes it to Moore right at the top of the key. Moore drives towards the right block, jump stop, pump fakes, puts it up, and he's fouled. Khalid Moore went to the ground hard, but he's helped up by his teammates as he will be at the line now for 2 free throws. 15 points for Khalid Moore, leading the way for the Rams. He had 18 points in his Fordham debut against Dartmouth, following that up nicely here today. As Moore at the line, bends his knees. The first free throw is up, and it rolls out. He'll have one more.
And this is someone who was a role player on a top of the ACC team, and he comes to Fordham now, and he's been able to be that guy, in a sense, on the offensive end with Darius Quisenberry.
Khalid Moore is very much a gifted athlete and has let that shown in a couple of games so far this year, doing that today. As Sims for Stonehill has it through the legs dribble, has it at the free throw line, bounce pass out. Here's Stone at the right arc. Down into the right block, it's Cole Bergen. He looks to go to work. Puts up the layup, now kicks it out. Burnett, left arc three. No good, a little too strong, but the rebound won by Zagorowski. He's going to take a three, and he hits it. Max Zagorowski gets his second three-pointer of the game, and that brings Stonehill within 5. 37-32, 17 minutes to go in the second half. Stonehill cutting down in that deficit to start half number 2.
And here they go with the zone, back here with the 2-3.
Charlton has it at the top of the key, swings it. Here's Khalid Moore, right back to Charlton. Charlton, right back to Moore. Bounce pass in the corner, Rose for 3, looking to respond, he can't. Kyle Rose misses a 3. Stonehill has a chance to trim the lead even more. Here's Bergen the other way, hands it off to Zagorowski. Fakes a 3, now he looks to drive towards the lane, left block, puts it up, and he's fouled.
And if I'm Fordham, I need some adjustments right now. They get you with the man, and then they get a big bucket on the other end, and right when you want to try to get the other bucket to try to re-extend that lead, they switch the defense on you, and then you have to reestablish or rethink about how are you going to attack this defense. Stonehill really doing a great job changing back and forth between the man and the zone.
Max Zagorowski at the line once again. He makes the first free throw, averaging 11.2 points per game this year. 25 points, which is a career high for him, against Quinnipiac earlier in the year for the Skyhawks. So he'll be at the line for one more free throw. Normally a very solid three-point shooter. The last couple of games he struggled a little bit, but does hit his second free throw there. That puts Stonehill within 3, 37-34, 16:30 to go in the second half. Fordham has been unable to extend their lead so far in half number 2. Quisenberry has it, holds the ball over his head, ball fakes, passes it to Charlton, who bounce pass at the right elbow. Here's Nowitzki into the game. Into the paint, puts up the floater, short. Rebound, Stone has it. Here's Zagorowski for the Skyhawks. Guarded closely by Charlton. Pass it to Bergen at the right wing. Swings it back to Zagorowski. He's going to take another 3. No good. That one's short, off the side of the rim. Out of bounds. Fordham will have possession as we're just under 16 minutes. 15:59 to go in the second half. Fordham's lead is trimmed to 3, 37-34 over Stonehill. You're listening to Fordham Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, Andrew Galata here, WFUV's play-by-play voice for Fordham Rams football. The Rams are exciting as ever this season, riddled with all-Patriot League talent and FCS superstars like quarterback Tim DeMorat, wide receiver Fotis Kokosoulis, and linebacker Ryan Greenhagen. Follow Fordham's quest for a Patriot League title all season long on WFUV Sports. You can listen to the Rams every Saturday on 90.7 FM and WFUV Sports Spreaker page. WFUV Sports, the flagship station for Fordham Athletics.
Back at the Rose Hill Gym, 15:59 to go in the second half, 37-34. Fordham in front by 3, as the Rams have seen this second half deficit certainly shrink so far in the opening minutes. Mike, what have you seen from Stonehill? What have they been able to do to work their way back into this game?
There's just been a clear defensive adjustment made by Stonehill. They're doubling Khalid Moore on the low block, and they're forcing him to turn over the ball. That's been the clear difference from the first half to the second half, and those turnovers have led to offense for the Skyhawks, and they've now cut the lead to 3 points because of it. Fordham, they need to reassert themselves on the interior, but they need to do so without turning over the ball. They need to try to find Khalid Moore in space, and they need to be able to work the ball around the perimeter to do so.
Fordham is still in their huddle here, talking things over as Coach Ergo. You got to think he's not happy with his team right now coming out of the second half, as Stonehill's made adjustments, but Fordham has not been able to punch back, or at least so far. That's what they're going to look to do here. Still a lot of time left in this game, as Fordham looking to go 3-0 in the Tom Konchalski Classic. 2-0, and they've won 3 in a row, as they're in a battle with Stonehill here, who's really done a great job staying into this game, just recently into Division I basketball. At the Division II level, you don't play a lot of non-conference games. You jump right into conference, so it's been an adjustment for Stonehill playing a full non-conference schedule before jumping into those conference games, but so far they've done very well. Hanging around in this one as they open up with a little pressure, but over the half-court line is Charlton. Charlton into the paint, left block, Khalid Moore. Like you said, he's doubled there again. Here's Charlton. Charlton, bounce pass into the right block, Nowitzki. Nowitzki out to Richardson. Swings it, Charlton, right back down to Moore. Moore puts up the layup, and one. Khalid Moore taking advantage there in the paint. The and one.
And that's the quick ball movement around the perimeter. You don't want to abandon the interior on the offense against the 3-2, against the 2-3 zone. You just want to try to find a different way to get it in there. They move the ball around, they get the double team, they move it around on the other end, and then they find Khalid Moore on the opposite block for the layup.
Charlton with a really nice zip pass into the paint there. That's his 4th assist of the day, just 2 points, so not as involved in the scoring department, but like we talked about with the guards, they still find a way to get involved in the game. As the free throw is also good, so Fordham back up 6, 40-34. Muser the other way. And here's Sims at the left arc for Stonehill. Passes it to Ethan Muser, who swings it into the paint is Stone. The layup rolls in. Thatcher Stone has had a couple of opportunities to drive into the paint, does so once again there. Cuts the lead back down to 4, 40-36. Quisenberry at the F logo, passes it to Richardson. Stonehill back in their zone. Bounce pass in the corner. Charlton drives baseline, has it knocked away, gets it back. Nowitzki has it at the left block, puts up the layup, gets it in. Almost a turnover for the Rams, but they're able to get 2 points.
And they get lucky there. Charlton gets trapped, almost turns over the ball, but it finds Nowitzki underneath the basket for the layup.
42-36. Fordham up 6. As Sims at the right elbow is guarded by Quisenberry. He's looking to back down his defender, puts it up, and he's fouled. Lost control of the ball there. But it looks like Quisenberry will pick up the foul. A little bit of a mismatch there against Sims. This time Sims was able to take advantage.
Yeah, and Sims, someone who shoots great at the line, 86%. So the right guy they want at the line, but he's been aggressive all day. He's backing down the Fordham defenders there, goes up strong, gets the foul call. He is relentless offensively, and he creates problems for opposing defenses.
Sims gets the first free throw to go. He had 17.7 points per game last year, which was, excuse me, that's this year. That's first on the team. But he also led the team in scoring last year as well. As Sims rattles home the second free throw also. That makes it back to a 4-point game. Stonehill, every time Fordham punches, Stonehill punches back. 14:30 to go in the second half. Quisenberry passes it to Charlton. Charlton at the right wing, picks up his dribble, passes it to Quisenberry. Right back to Charlton. Bounce pass at the right elbow. Here's Nowitzki trying to find more, but it's a bad pass and a turnover. Sloppy play there by the Rams.
And the zone forces your bigs to be able to pass well. If you want to go against the zone and you want to be successful against the zone, you need your bigs to be able to pass out of the zone and pass across the zone extremely well. A bad pass there by Nowitzki leads to the turnover. These are things Fordham needs to iron out as they head to conference play. Their passing and attacking zone defenses.
Now 10 turnovers in the game for the Rams as Nowitzki is out of the game. Simbilla's in. He's guarding Sims at the left block. Sims fadeaway jumper, and it rattles home. It's good. Andrew Sims now with 12 points. And Stonehill is within 2, 42-40, with under 14 minutes to play in the second half. Charlton has it at the right elbow, the right wing, as he passes it to Richardson into the paint. Kicks it out, Moore, right arc three. It's good. A huge three for the Rams. Khalid Moore gets the lead back up to 5.
And Richardson gets into the zone. They collapse on him, finds Moore on the perimeter.
Khalid Moore now with 19 points. Hands the ball off. Here's Thatcher Stone at the left elbow. Passes it out. Sims is open. Right arc three. No good. Rebounded by Richardson.
And Sims only 25% from 3. You're taking that shot every day.
The Rams left him open. Sims did not make him pay. Richardson into the paint. Puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Zagorowski. Here's Burnett the other way. Passes it to Muser at the right wing. Muser, bounce pass. Extended right block. Here's Sims looking to go to work in the paint. Spins on Charlton. Puts up the layup. It rolls out. Rebound is tipped to Simbilla. Simbilla's fouled. He was looking to get it to Richardson. The ball knocked out of bounds, but a foul will go against Ethan Muser. 13 minutes exactly, 45-40, 40 minutes.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Sam, but what I was going to say is Fordham needs to move ball quickly. You get that rebound, push it in transition. When you get into the half-court game, then you're working against that zone that you've been struggling with all second half. Push the ball in transition, get them off balance, and then you're going to find more success on the offensive side.
As here's Will Richardson, the freshman, leading it up for the Rams. Backing down his defender. Passed it to Rose, who swings it into the far corner. Here's Charlton. And it looks like a foul will go against Charlton. 12:49 to go. 5-point lead for Fordham. Richardson will inbound underneath the basket for the Rams. He lobs it into Moore. Moore has it at the extended left elbow. Now Charlton at the right elbow. Hands it off. Rose. Here's Moore at the left wing. Down into the paint. Simbilla at the left block. Simbilla double teamed. Puts it up, but it looks like it's going to be a travel. Simbilla made the basket, but he traveled beforehand in a turnover for the Rams.
And the travel is really caused because of the double team crash by the Skyhawks. You have to see that coming if you're the Rams. As soon as you see the defender break onto you, that second defender, then you kick it back out and then you rotate that ball around.
Now 12 turnovers for Fordham in the game.
And we had 7 coming into the second half. 5 turnovers already in the second half, and you're going to start to get to that number where it's hard to win with that many turnovers.
Sims advances the ball over half court for Stonehill, staying right into this game still as he hands it off to Burnett, swings it to Johnson at the right wing. Johnson holds the ball over his head, passes it back to Burnett, into the paint. Bergen had good positioning. Pump fakes, goes up, but he travels. Fordham defensively gets away with one there as Bergen was open in the paint, but he travels.
Yeah, and I think Fordham has gotten away with some things that have kept them in this lead, this 5-point lead. The Skyhawks have been the better team all second half.
5-point lead for the Rams, 45-40. That one's poked away from Richardson, but possession will stay with Fordham. Burnett did not like that call. He thought that was off of Will Richardson.
It was a close call here, but the Rams definitely liking that one.
Richardson has it, guarded closely again by Burnett. Passes it to Charlton at the left wing. Charlton through the legs dribble, drives into the lane. Stops, loses possession of the ball. Simbilla onto the ground. Multiple players diving onto the floor. And that's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will be with Fordham. So 45-40. Fordham in front of Stonehill. That's going to lead us to another media timeout here. Let's go back to the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Danny Scott.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Starting off with the A10, St. Joe's and South Florida are down to the last 5 minutes of the game with South Florida leading 60-47. UC San Diego has begun to pull away from GW, up 55-42 halfway through the second half. Temple and Richmond are at the Barclays Center with the Spiders up 39-36. The Bonnies are hosting the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana with St. Bonaventure up 50-35. In the top 25, number 10 Creighton, number 9 Arkansas are underway, with Creighton up 19-10. Number 17 San Diego State will take on number 14 Arizona at 10:30. There are no home games in New York tonight, but the Nets are traveling to Philadelphia and are down 48-43 to the 76ers. The Rangers will head to LA to take on the Kings with puck drop set for 10:30. And World Cup group play, Argentina was stunned by Saudi Arabia today 2-1. Denmark and Tunisia drew, and Mexico and Poland drew as well. France handled Australia today, winning 4-1. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Danny Scott.
Welcome back to Fordham basketball here on WFUV Sports. Sam Davis with Mike Calamari. 45-40, Fordham in front by 5. Fordham heading into today, 72.2 points per game, but just 45 points here. Stonehill defensively has done a very nice job starting out this second half, using that zone, working that zone. Fordham really hasn't had a lot of answers.
Yeah, they really haven't. It's been the turnovers. We mentioned that at the top of the broadcast, 328th in the NCAA in turnovers per game. They've allowed opponents to score 15 points per game off of their turnovers. Last time out against Holy Cross, they turned the ball over 18 times. They have not had less than 10 turnovers all season long. Tonight, they have 12, and that's been the story of the second half. They had 7 in the first half, now 5 in the second half, with still 12 minutes to play. They have to limit those here if they want to hold on to this lead.
Mike, you mentioned those 15 points. That's the difference between a close game and a blowout for Fordham so far in this one, as they're up just 5.
And tonight it's 6 points off of turnovers.
As Quisenberry dives to the deck here, but is able to pass it away to Rose at the right arc. As the Rams inbound, Rose, 1 on the shot clock, puts up the floater. It's short. Rebounded there by Johnson for Stonehill. 11:45 to go. Fordham up 5. As Sims has it for Stonehill. Passes it to Bergen at the left arc. Bergen into the paint. Looking for Mellis, but it's through his hands, and Charlton the other way. Here's Quisenberry at the left wing. Drives in the lane, passes it off to Moore. He's fouled on the floor. An inconvenient foul there for Fordham, as Khalid Moore was wide open at the right block to finish off that layup, but it's a foul on the floor.
And we've been talking about the luck for Fordham there. It doesn't go their way, but one more foul closer to the bonus. Never a bad thing. And Fordham able to get a set play from out of bounds underneath the basket.
Khalid Moore now with a career-high 22 points in this game. 8 for 12 from the field. He's been very efficient scoring the basketball. As the inbound is into Quisenberry. Puts up the high floater off the glass, no good. Loose rebound. Khalid Moore grabs it. Pump fakes. Kicks it out to Charlton. Charlton has it at the Fordham logo. Now hands it off to Rose. Quisenberry now at the left arc. Back to Rose. Rose directing traffic, swings it here, Charlton. Right back to Rose, ball fake, drives into the paint, slips, but he passes it to Khalid Moore, gets the easy layup.
If you can get inside that zone defense, the bottom 3 are going to step up, and you're going to be able to find more Simbila underneath the basket.
Quickly the other way, Zegorowski, he gets the layup in. Max Zegorowski, an impressive physical move to the basket. Stonehill within 5. That's what they've done all game long. Every time, seems like every time Fordham scores, Stonehill is right back to score themselves. 47-42. Charlton off a screen from Moore. Pass it to Quisenberry. Charlton gets it right back. Bounce pass. Rose in the corner for 3. No good. Loose rebound. Moore put pressure on Bergen, but it's out of bounds off of Fordham. Stonehill will have it.
And Fordham's getting good looks early on. A nice 3 in the far left corner for Kyle Rose. They were 5 for 16 from 3 in the first half. Now just 6 for 20, and they've really struggled to put in the ball from the net when they've had open looks.
It's an off shooting night for Kyle Rose, who was 4 for 7 last game, but now just 2 for 7 this game from behind the arc. As Sims passes it to Johnson at the top of the key, holds it at his right hip, now drives into the lane, jump stop, spins, kicks it out. Zegorowski right wing. Bergen now at the left wing, holds the ball over his head. Bergen guarded closely there by Simbila, passes it out to Johnson. Swings it to Burnett. 1 on the shot clock. He's got to get one up. Puts up a floater. It's short. Rebound is grabbed by Simbila. Good defensive possession there from the Rams. Charlton the other way for Fordham. He's going to look to drive to the basket quickly. Into the paint. Now at the left block. Bounce pass into Simbila. Puts up the layup. Gets it in. 49-42. Fordham up by 5 with 9:40 to go. 7 points. As Sims Holds it at his hip, now passes it to Burnett, who's fouled there. It looks like Quisenberry's going to pick that foul up.
And a nice pass by Antrell Charlton. Does a great job of keeping his head up when he's inside the three-point line and when he's backing a player down. Finds Simbila underneath the basket there. And that's where they're going to get their points, right underneath the basket against the zone. Penetrating and then finding those cutters and finding those big men who are going to be waiting there for the pass.
Simbila with just his second basket, but does have 10 rebounds today, so solid effort from him on the boards as Sims has it for Stonehill. Bergen's going to take a right arc three. It rattles home. A huge three for Stonehill as Fordham looked like they were trying to slip ahead. Stonehill's right back, 49-45. The Skyhawks down 4. Quisenberry bounce pass to Charlton at the left wing. Charlton into the paint at the A10 logo, kicks it out. Rose has an open three, left arc. It's no good, tipped up. Simbila tips it up. Here's Quisenberry into the lane. Layup's good, but an offensive foul. Sims was able to set his feet there and pick up the charge, and a foul against Quisenberry again. Stonehill will have it.
And give this Skyhawks team credit. This might be the toughest team Fordham's played so far in the sense of their relentless effort and their inability to just give in. They are battling in this one.
Sims passed it to Bergen, fakes the three. Now back to Sims, back to Bergen. He's open, he's going to take another three. That one's no good. Simbila grabs the board again. That's number 11 for him. Charlton passed it to Rose at the left wing. Here's Kyle Rose off a screen from Simbila. Rose passed it to a cutting Quisenberry. Straight on three. Off the backboard, no good. Way off there. A loose ball foul is going to go against Abdou Simbila on Andrew Sims, who's able to grab that board.
And Fordham, 1 for their last 13 from deep in this one. 1 for their last 4 from the field. They've gone cold. The shots that usually have fell for them aren't falling anymore. They came into this one shooting great from 3, 38%. But we're not seeing that here tonight. 6 for 23.
That's definitely part of why Fordham's in this defensive battle so far here. Struggling from behind the arc. Here's Stone. He's got an open three in the left arc. No good. Simbila grabs the rebound. And while Fordham's has struggled, so is Stonehill. As here's Charlton into the paint. He's got a jump shot at the free throw line. That one's good. Antrell Charlton loves that mid-range. He gets it to go there. 51-45. Now with 8 minutes to go in the second half. Sims is open at the right arc. He has it. Passed it to Stone. He's going to take another three. He's open, and it's short. Fordham is daring Stonehill to shoot the three ball, but another miss there. And a whistle and another media timeout here. 7:59 to go in the game. Fordham up 51-45. This is Fordham Rams basketball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, guys? I'm Julia Moss.
And I'm Will Talent.
And we're 2 of your hosts for one of WFUV's football podcasts, NFL Friday.
Tune in every Friday for all news and updates around the National Football League.
Also, we'll be making our picks of the week around the league on every episode. Check out NFL Friday wherever you get your podcasts to catch the action.
Back at the Rose Hill Gym, 51-45, Fordham in front. Just about 8 minutes to go here in the second half. And Mike, you alluded to it right before we took that break, but the three-point ball has been an emphasis of struggle for both sides. Fordham 6 for 22 from behind the arc, 27%. Stonehill right there, 5 for 17, 29%. So both teams struggling, and that's part of why we're seeing the defensive battle that we have here.
And it's no surprise on the opposing end with Stonehill. Fordham holding opponents to 31% from 3 coming into this one. The opposing teams only average just over 5 made three-pointers per game. So Fordham, great perimeter defense. But Fordham, coming into this one, they had been playing great, doing a great job shooting the ball from behind the arc. We've been seeing that a lot recently from them. It's been a lot of improvement from last season with the three-point shooting, but tonight they haven't been able to hit the open ones, and that's why the zone's so effective right now. The three-point looks that they're getting, they're not able to cash in on, and the turnovers the Skyhawks are forcing, they're being able to make up for them on the other end.
Stonehill is susceptible to that three-point ball, especially with that 2-3 zone. In their last game against UIC, they gave up a bunch of threes. UIC was 46% from three-point range. They were able to win. That's part of why Fordham has not had a lot of success so far in this one. But good teams and what they're able to do, even games when they're not shooting, because there's certainly off nights for teams as it goes, time in and time out. What good teams do is they still find a way to win. Fordham's going to look to do that here with 8 minutes left to go. They're grinding it out. They do lead by 6, 51-45. Stonehill's gotten close, but they haven't been in the lead since the first minute of the game, as Will Richardson has it at the right arc for the Rams. Elijah Gray checked in the game, screens him off. Here's Charlton. Charlton splits the defense into the corner. Elijah Gray looks to drive baseline, holds it at his hip, guarded closely there. Bounce pass into Charlton at the right block, kicks it out. Quisenberry double team into the paint, bounce pass to Nowitzki at the left wing. 5 on the shot clock. Richardson left arc 3. It's good. The three-pointer rattles in for Will Richardson, and Fordham is back up 9.
And a great shot there by Richardson, shooting over 40% from 3 so far this season. 5 for 12 before he hits that one.
Sims the other way for 3. He's going to try one. That one's in and out. Sims again, right arc. This time no good on the offensive rebound. He's going to look to drive into the paint. Left block, kicks it out. Johnson's going to try a left arc 3. That one's good. So maybe a little announcer jinx there. We said how the teams were struggling from behind the arc. Back-to-back threes there between both sides. 54-48, under 7 now in the second half. Charlton, bounce pass to Quisenberry at the Block F logo. Now here Richardson at the right arc. Bounce pass into Gray, who has his pass deflected, and a turnover. Here's Sims the other way, passes it to Zagorowski. At the left wing, guarded by Nowitzki. Stonehill swinging it around. Here's Burnett at the right wing. Bounce pass into the paint. Here's Sims. Sims faces up his defender, Elijah Gray, bouncing the ball into the right block. Still working on Gray. Now kicks it out. Burnett in the corner. That's a long 2. It's no good. Rebounded by Nowitzki. Here's Richardson the other way.
And Fordham's just got to move quicker in transition. They're letting the half-court game come to them.
That one's tipped out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Rams.
I just think they can push the ball a little more right now, and too much dribbling on the offensive end. More passing, more ball movement. The dribbling just allows them to get set defensively in that zone, and that's when they start getting the double teams and the turnovers. Less dribbling, move the ball around the perimeter, and that's how you'll beat the zone.
Kyle Rose will inbound on the sideline. He passes it in to Antrell Charlton. Charlton to Quisenberry at the left wing. Charlton lob pass to Rose. Rose, ball fake, passes into the paint. Here's Moore. Another turnover. He looked to pass it out. It's deflected away. Johnson the other way for Stonehill. Swinging around, here's Burnett in the far corner. He looks to drive baseline, passes it off, and Christopher Mellis gets the layup to go. 54-50, Fordham in front by 4. Just 5:40 to go in the second half. Stonehill's hung around all second half, and they're within 4. Quisenberry at the left wing. He's going to look to drive into the paint. Jump stop, kicks it out in the corner. Rose will try another 3. That one's good. Kyle Rose hits a huge 3. Fordham up 7. 57-50. Sims the other way. Pass it to Mellis. He's got a right elbow jump shot. That one's good. Christopher Mellis back-to-back baskets. Stonehill within 5. 5:10 to go in the second half. 57-52. Charlton slowly moving it over half court. High screen from Moore. Rose at the right wing. Now he pump fakes, drives into the lane, kicks it out to Quisenberry. Quisenberry has his ball at the hip. Now kicks it out. Charlton will take a straight on 3. Too strong off the back rim. Nowitzki trying to grab the rebound. Dives to the floor. Gets it. Charlton to the floor, and he's fouled. Really nice effort there from Rostik Nowitzki. Dive into the floor to get that offensive rebound.
And the minutes he's given this team as of late, past 2 games, 17 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's averaged 22 minutes in the past 2 games. He's played some great time for this team, and he hasn't played a lot tonight, just 11 minutes, only 4 points, 2 for 3 from the field. But when he's in, he's making an impact.
Antrell Charlton will now be at the free throw line for 2. And the first free throw is good. Charlton able to get involved multiple ways for the Rams. Has not scored a ton tonight, just 4 points, but does have 5 assists, but also 3 turnovers. That's been an issue with Charlton so far this year, as he has 1 more free throw and he gets it to go as well. So both free throws good, 59-52. Fordham up 7. We're under 5 minutes. Fordham's in the bonus as well. As Sims has it for Stonehill. Pass it to Burnett. Here's Johnson in the near corner. Now Burnett swings it back. He was looking for Sims. Miscommunication and a turnover. It ended up in the hands of Coach Kraus, and he slams the ball in frustration as it's a turnover for Stonehill.
And the turnovers kind of going both ways in this one. 10 turnovers for Stonehill. They've by no means done a good job of taking care of the ball. It's just almost made up for the fact Fordham's turned it over 15 times.
Rose bounces it into the corner with Quisenberry. Now back to Rose. Rose with the ball fake. Lobs it over to Khalid Moore at the left wing. Khalid Moore into the paint. Good ball movement and a slam for Nowitzki.
And that's the ball movement you're looking for. Right to Charlton, doesn't hit the floor, right over to Nowitzki underneath the basket.
61-52. 4 minutes to go in the second half. Fordham looking to pull away. As Johnson has it at the left wing, and now a timeout will be taken by Coach Kraus and Stonehill. And 61-52 is the score with 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second half. Let's go back to the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one scoreboard with Danny Scott.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
South Florida took down St. Joe's today 75-62 for their first win of the season. San Diego State is currently up on George Washington 64-52 with just a couple minutes to go. Temple and Richmond are at the Barclays Center with the Spiders leading. St. Bonaventure is hosting Southern Indiana and the Bonnies are up 49-39. In the top 25, number 10 Creighton and number 9 Arkansas are underway with Creighton leading 37-26. Number 17 San Diego State will take on number 14 Arizona State at 10:30. There are no home games in New York tonight, but the Nets are in Philadelphia and are down 63-57 at halftime. The Rangers will travel to Los Angeles to take on the Kings with puck drop set for 10:30. In World Cup group play, the world was shocked with Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia today 2-1. Denmark and Tunisia and Mexico and Poland both drew, and the defending champs of France handled Australia today, winning 4-1. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Danny Scott.
The final 4 minutes of the Tom Konchalski Classic here at the Rose Hill Gym. 4 minutes and 3 seconds to be exact. 61-52. Fordham up 9. It's been a back-and-forth second half. Stonehill's hung around, but Fordham in the last couple of minutes moving the basketball very well, able to get that lead back up to 9 points.
Yeah, and that's what you've wanted to see out of Fordham, the ball movement. It's what we've been talking about, but they've tried to move the ball at times, turning over the basketball, putting on the ball on the floor too much, but now you're starting to see an offense that's adjusted, has not putting the ball on the floor as much, really rotating that basketball, and it's working.
24 points for Khalid Moore. He leads the way for the Rams by far. 9 for 13 from the field. Has had a very solid day. His best scoring day of his career. As the ball's back in for Stonehill. Bounce pass to Zagorowski, who hands it off to Sims. Sims into the left block. Pump fakes, puts it up. It's blocked by Nowitzki. Back underneath Sims, tries it again. This one rolls in. Good second effort there from Andrew Sims as he was blocked and rejected on the first time, and he gets the layup to go. 54-61. Quisenberry the other way for the Rams. Has it at the top of the key. Passes at the free throw line. Now down underneath. Nowitzki double team, but a nice ball fake, and he gets the layup to go.
Quisenberry easy pass to Charlton there, and Nowitzki wide open underneath the rim.
Nowitzki gets the layup. 63-54 with 3:20 to go. Fordham trading baskets here for Stonehill, but with the lead that they have, there's nothing wrong with that for the Rams and Coach Ergo. As Sims has it for Stonehill. Hands it off to Johnson. Right arc three. It's good. A big-time three there from Shamir Johnson. As Stonehill's within 6. Under 3 minutes now to play. 63-57. Quisenberry swings it here at the right wing. Here's Khalid Moore. Khalid Moore's double team. Passes it out to Quisenberry. Passes it in now to the far corner. Kyle Rose. Skip pass. Khalid Moore at the right arc. Khalid Moore back to Quisenberry. The Rams moving it around the perimeter. Here's Khalid Moore. driving towards the corner. Khalid Moore into the right block, puts up a fadeaway jumper. It's good. Right as the shot clock expires, Khalid Moore with an impressive fadeaway jumper, as it's now 63-57. Fordham in front. They have 20. Khalid Moore now with 26 points so far today. He's been unbelievably impressive.
He's been unbelievable. I'm waiting to see whether or not they give Khalid Moore the basket there. I know they're taking a look at it right now as both teams meet at their respective benches, but a great fadeaway shot at the buzzer beater. I want to see more ball movement still. I think a lot of times Fordham's trying to break up the zone with their dribble, and they can move the ball a little more, but Khalid Moore's kept him in it. He's hit tough shot after tough shot. He's only missed 4 shots he's taken so far. Think about that.
And the call is actually overturned. So they reviewed it to see if Khalid Moore got it off before the buzzer. It turns out he didn't. So the basket's no good. It's a shot clock violation,
and
which means now Fordham's up 63-57 still.
That's what I thought it was when I originally saw it. It seemed like he was getting it off and the buzzer was sounding. But 2 minutes and change here, 6-point lead, 2-possession game, depending on how you look at it. You know, Stonehill's in this game. Fordham really needs to try to clamp down on defense, really lock in here. And on the offensive end, just don't turn over the ball. 16 turnovers tonight. You need to limit those because any second chance opportunity for the Skyhawks now, when you have this close of a lead with some time remaining on the clock, that's what you think about after the game's over.
And you got to think Stonehill offensively will look to make some more threes. They were able to make one there with Shamir Johnson. You got to think they'll keep trying the 3-ball, even though they have 33% from behind the arc today. Overall, not terrible, as Stonehill's trailing by 6. And Mike, you mentioned it earlier, but the fight that Stonehill has shown from beginning to end of this game, they went down at various points by over 10 points. They've still worked their way back. They've shown more fight, really, than anyone so far in this tournament against Fordham, and you got to give them a ton of credit for what they've been able to do tonight.
By far the team I've been most impressed with so far this tournament, and obviously Fordham, they're playing ranked Arkansas earlier this season, but that game got away from the Rams early on. We didn't really see a team have to claw their way back against Fordham yet this season, and it's really been the first time that Fordham's had to really buckle down after taking a quick lead. They've got 4 wins so far this year, just the 1 loss against Arkansas. They're in a close game, down to the wire, and these are the times where you learn the most about your team. How do you handle close situations late in the game? It's going to be a learning experience for Fordham, and it's going to be a learning experience for the Skyhawks.
As the Skyhawks are ready to inbound and get back underway with just 2:28 to go. Andrew Sims will have it for Stonehill.
And you got to get Sims out of the paint. Let him take that mid-range jumper if you can.
Sims drives into the paint. Pump fakes at the left block, but is forced to kick it out. Here's Johnson at the top of the perimeter. Shamir Johnson hit a 3 on the last possession. He looks to pass it away as he picks up his dribble. Still looking for somebody to pass it to. Now finds Burnett. Burnett, 5 in the shot clock. Burnett driving in the lane, passing to a cutting Bergen, who has it blocked. Kyle Rose with a big-time rejection at the rim. Here's the other way. Kyle Rose has it. Quisenberry at the right arc. He's going to take a 3. It's good. A huge turn of events for the Rams. A block one way and a 3 the other. Fordham up 66-57, a minute 40 to go.
Kyle Rose, 6'4", blocking 6'8" Cole Bergen. What a play on the defensive end.
Burnett at the left wing. Step back jumper, he takes it, and it's no good off the front rim. Swings it out. Zagorowski will try a 3. That one's no good as well. Stonehill throwing up the 3-ball here, trying to get back into it in the late stages, as time is not their friend. Just a minute 20 to go now. Fordham works it over half court, but now Charlton's double team. Passes out of it. Khalid Moore passes it down to Rose. Rose thought about a shot, but kicks it back out to Khalid Moore, wisely with the game clock at just a minute. As here's Quisenberry at the right arc, and now he's fouled. So 1 minute and 1 second here in the game, 66-57. Quisenberry will be at the free throw line.
I just don't get that for the Skyhawks. You foul with 9 seconds on the shot clock. You either have to do that early in the possession or you're forcing them to take a shot they don't want to take. Those are the 2 defensive options you have. I don't know why you don't foul Quisenberry in the backcourt or Charlton in the backcourt earlier. You send Quisenberry to the line, over 90% free throw shooter. Just not a smart play there.
The first free throw is no good. A rare miss, but an offensive rebound for the Rams. A huge offensive rebound.
And they were so convinced, I bet, that Darius Quisenberry was going to hit that free throw. It looked like no one was going for the rebound. And allows the oversized Nowitzki just to tap it out in the long rebound by the Rams.
Kyle Rose was fouled this time, so he will head to the line. Quisenberry was 21 for 22 heading into the game at the free throw line, so just one miss on the year.
95% before missing that shot.
And Kyle Rose gets the first free throw to go. So a huge offensive rebound, and that's a sign of what Fordham's been able to do all day, showcase their size and use that size in the paint, as Nowitzki was able to just tip that one up, giving Rose 2 free throws. He misses the second one, though, so a 10-point lead. Now under a minute to go. Stonehill's going to need a 3 quickly. Here's Sims. He's going to look to drive towards the paint. Puts it up. It's blocked by Nowitzki. And what a block there from Nowitzki.
And I don't know about that call. They're going to say it's a flop against Kyle Rose.
So that was before the block.
They're going to say that he tried to get the offensive charge.
That's a second flop call today.
And if you looked over, it looked like head coach for Stone Skyhawks, Chris Kraus, was trying to get that call. He motioned to the refs, and then the refs made the call. But from my angle, I thought it was more of a trip up, and Rose fell to the floor. I don't know why you try to draw a charge with 10 points, with a 10-point lead. It's only going to create more problems if you send someone to the line.
So Zagorowski will be at the free throw line with the technical foul. He'll have 1 free throw. He makes it. Maybe we'll have 2, I guess.
So it's going to be 2 and ball, I think.
Now it looks like now they're inbounding on the baseline. So Zagorowski thought he had 2.
A lot of confusion.
But he only has 1, similar to what Fordham had in the first half on that flop call. So it's a tech, 1 free throw. Stonehill, as the refs are trying to figure this out. But it looks like Fordham will have possession. So just 1 free throw for Stonehill, which means Fordham will now have the ball, 67-58. Kyle Rose, and it's going to be a foul off the ball. He's trying to inbound, couldn't even get the ball in as Burnett got tangled up with Quisenberry, which will send Darius Quisenberry to the line. They're now in the double bonus, so it'll be 2 free throws for Quisenberry looking to ice this game.
And Sam, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to go and check the rule books after this game. I was almost positive it would be a free throw and ball,
yes. But I'm glad you were confused too, because I was also very confused. Not sure what the call was there, but nevertheless, Fordham has possession, and now they're at the free throw line. It'll be Darius Quisenberry for 2. The first free throw rolls home.
And another game where he does a little bit of everything. In this one, 3 for 10 from the field, struggles once again shooting the ball, but he's hit big shots, 6 assists. He's also got a trio of rebounds and double-digit points.
The second free throw is up, and it's in. So both free throws good, 69-58. Fordham up 11, just 46 seconds to go in this one. Zagorowski the other way, hands it off to Bergen over half court. Bergen for the Skyhawks. Hands it off Zagorowski. Zagorowski at the top of the perimeter. Looks to hand it off. Still looking to pass it. Now it's Bergen. Wasting a lot of time here is Stonehill. Pleadmore pokes it away. Here's Zagorowski in the far corner. Zagorowski working on Charlton. Drives into the paint, puts it up, misses the layup. Rebounded by Quisenberry. The shot clock is off. They will foul anyway. And Andrew Sims is on the ground. Off the ball there. He took a hit. And he goes down. A scary sight here.
I think he got poked in the eye. It's touching his head, but he's face down the court right now. One of the toughest players on this team, probably the toughest. He takes 10-plus shots a game every game. Did that tonight. Almost makes 5-plus shots every game. He does that again here today as he walks off the floor. But he is a hard-nosed, tough, gritty player, and he plays it full tilt every single possession.
So the referees are at the scorer's table looking at this one now. So they're going to see if there's any sort of technical foul call on the collision there.
And I'd like to see it myself because I didn't get a good look at it in the moment.
It was off the ball.
It was one of those things where you're watching a play happen, and then next thing you know, Sims hit the floor.
A good sight for Stonehill fans, though, is Sims is up and walking around. He seems to be okay. He took a scary fall there.
And he's really the lifeblood of this team. He's scored 20-plus points 3 times this year. Last game for UIC, he had 24 points. And like I mentioned, he's a double-digit shot taker every game. He makes 5-plus shots a game. He's done that every single time out this season. He's a 5th year at 6'6". He plays a lot bigger than that, really. And this team's filled with veteran experience. They work hard. They play with each other very well. And it shows, rather than a team that has a lot of transfers, incoming freshmen that are still getting used to each other. When you have a team that's established, they've played together for a while, you really see the difference. And that's what's really been the challenge for Fordham here tonight. Even though it's 11-point lead right now, it hasn't felt like it all game long.
It's definitely felt a lot closer than it is. And Fordham's able to pull away a little bit in the last couple of minutes as they have, like you said, the 11-point lead. The shot clock is off. So there's just 16.6 seconds left in the game.
You have to think they're going to dribble it out.
Yeah.
Maybe a foul. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a Skyhawks foul, but it's 11-point lead here. I'm not sure how much there is to look over unless they feel like they might be able to send a Skyhawk to the line because of a technical foul. That would be the way this game maybe changes a little bit.
And the referees have now split up from the scores table. Looks like they're talking to Coach Kraus from Stonehill to try and give the call. And looks like no foul is the call.
Actually, I think they will give a flagrant 1 foul.
So it's on Kyle Rose.
Check that. It's going to be a foul against Stonehill, and they're going to send Darius Quisenberry to the line.
So Darius Quisenberry will be at the line. Technical foul shot. And the reason I laugh is because it's obviously a lot of confusion here in the last couple of seconds.
We have to listen to the PA to try to get it while we're doing the broadcast.
Quisenberry hits the first free throw. He's got one more here, 70-58. Fordham in front. Both free throws are good.
And I think it's going to be Fordham gets the ball now out of bounds. Or, I mean, you know what? I'm not going to say anything at this point.
So it's going to be a double tech as Andrew Sims will head to the line after being poked and going to the ground. He'll be now at the free throw line for 2 shots himself. And the original play was a foul as well.
So there's the original foul against Kyle Rowe. Actually,
as Darius Quisenberry took the first 2 free throws.
And then it was, I think, the flagrant one against Kyle Rose that sends Sims to the line.
Sims hits both free throws. So basically nothing happened as both teams hit 2 free throws.
And it's still going to be Fordham basketball.
And it's the exact same differential in points. It's 11 points, 71-60 now.
Got it.
Now it's going to be Stonehill ball here. So Bergen will have it underneath the basket, 16.6 seconds to go. Looking to pass it in, gets it into Zegarowski at the right arc. Zegarowski spins, drives into the paint, puts up desperation shot, no good. Rebound, no good. Finally, the rebound is snatched down by Antrell Charlton, and that is going to do it. Antrell Charlton will dribble this ball out in the final seconds from the Rose Hill Gym. So a hard-fought victory for the Fordham Rams, 71-60 over the Stonehill College Skyhawks, finishing off the Tom Konchalski Classic. The Rams go 3-0 in this one. And Mike, overall impressions from the game. Fordham was able to kind of hang around. Obviously, Stonehill hung around in this game. Fordham could not extend their lead, but ends up winning by 11 points.
Great game by Fordham. Anytime you win, it's really a great game. You go 5-1 now. You go 5-0 at home, which is a great mark. And they battled. They adjusted. They battled. It was a gritty performance by the Skyhawks. They were tested, and they come away with the win. And at the end of the day, it's a win, and that's what you're most excited about.
71-60 is the final score. Khalid Moore led the way for the Rams with 24 points. Mike, he was incredibly impressive with what he was able to do, just showcasing his athleticism. And Fordham did a nice job finding him the basketball in the paint throughout the night.
And he was the person who got the win for the Rams tonight. 24 points. He missed 4 shots, 9 for 13 from the field. He got it done at the line, going 4 for 5. Everything was working right for Khalid Moore tonight, and he gets him the win.
Got to give a lot of credit to Stonehill for what they were able to do in this one, hanging around in this game all night long. They were able to get the lead down into 2 points. They were able to really fight back, especially in that second half, coming out of the break, making adjustments against Khalid Moore in defense. Overall, just an impressive job from Stonehill. Just their first year in Division I, but I think they're going to raise some eyebrows this year with how well they played in this one tonight.
100%. They've made a big jump coming to this level, and they really haven't missed a beat. 2-4 now, 2-5 after the loss, but they've won games at the Division I level. They've played teams close at the Division I level, and that's a huge, huge plus for them. And they still did a pretty good job tonight, but you look at some of the differentials, 41 rebounds for the Rams. Stonehill just 25. They got out-rebounded by 16 here tonight. That was a big difference. So some of those things they can get better at, but taking this back to Fordham, 17 turnovers. If there's one thing that you're going to come out of this one saying Fordham needs to do a better job of, it's the turnovers. They average 17 turnovers per game. That number is going to stay put until next time because they got 17 turnovers tonight. That's at the bottom 50 of the NCAA, and they've been great all year, but it's those second chances that they're going to give teams that in the end it's going to be tough for them to be able to stay in games if they keep turning the ball over.
Fordham will be back at it after Thanksgiving on Sunday, November 27th against Harvard at 1:30. A good test for them against a very good Ivy League team for the Rams, and Stonehill will be back at it against UMass Lowell. But we're going to go back to the Rose Hill Studios here for the one-on-one post-game report with Kris Pursianen and Danny Scott. Take it away, guys.
The one-on-one post-game report.
71-60, your final score between Fordham and Stonehill. To close out the Tom Konchalski Classic, the Rams finish undefeated. Fordham 5-1 to start the year. It's the first 5-1 start for these Fordham Rams since 2018. Khalid Moore, 24 points, the stud performer for Fordham today. I'm here alongside Danny Scott. And Danny, let's get right into breaking down this performance here. We had two Rams, not named Khalid Moore, reach double digits in scoring. Quisenberry, 14 points. Rose with 10. No one else on the team in double digits. Khalid Moore, 24 points on 9 for 13 from the floor. Good for just about 70%. 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Just an incredible show of two-way efficiency from Moore today. How key was he to this Rams victory?
I think his stat line kind of proves it all. 24 points, 4 boards. It didn't turn the ball over very much, which has been a major issue, as Mike alluded to, for the Rams this entire season, but just a very efficient and effective game from Khalid Moore. He's so just it looks like he's playing men against boys out there. He's very, very good. He kind of gets his way in the paint, and he's not a guy that we've seen step back from behind the arc very much. So hitting 2 out of 3 3-pointers today was very important for this Rams win.
Absolutely. Now, you talked about efficiency. Some other Rams, even the better performers of the team, struggled with that a bit. Darius Quisenberry, 3 for 10 from the floor. Kyle Rose, 3 for 11 from the floor, and he was 3 for 10 from three-point range. What do you make about how these guys were able to contribute in different ways? Well, we'll get to Danny's analysis of that right after we head back to the court where our broadcasters are ready for an interview post-game.
Back here at the Rose Hill Gym, Sam Davis, Michael Calamari, joined now by assistant coach Dave Paulson. Coach, overall impressions from this game. Stonehill hung around in this one. Fordham really not able to extend their lead anything beyond 14 points, but still a commanding 11-point victory, 3-0 in the Tom Konchalski Classic. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought we really defended at a high rate. That's a good team. That's a good offensive team. They've created some dilemmas for us. And what I thought we did a really good job, I thought Abdou Simbila and the Rostov did a great job on number 32 Sims. Now, he got 16 points, but he really had to work for everything. We were able to switch up some things. To hold him with 36% shooting overall, 30% from 3, and the second half numbers were even better. I think it was really gritty. There was a stretch where I think they cut it to 3, maybe or 5, and I thought we showed some good composure. We were running on fumes. Look at, we're down a couple guys, and Khalid Moore, I thought he could barely move up and down the court. I don't know if you guys could see him limping, but he came up with big play after big play. And when you don't have your A game offensively and you can grind out a win, that's a sign of a good team. It wasn't artistic at times offensively, but I think we a lot to learn from. But I really love the way our guys responded.
Coach, what was it about that zone defense they started applying to you guys throughout the game? You guys still managed to put up their 71 points, so you did a great job against it, but what challenges did that present?
I think the biggest challenge is, we hadn't seen it yet this year, right? And so there's no experience like game experience. And, we don't play zone at Fordham. So, when we work on it in practice, maybe it's against the scout team, it's not something that we do. And so one of the great things about this tournament is Illinois Chicago did what we call icing ball screens, trying to keep the ball on the side and played really aggressive man-to-man defense. And then Holy Cross hard hedged and pressured that way. And Stonehill played a zone. So we saw three really different defensive styles. And that's what you want your non-conference schedule to give you an opportunity not only to go against different offensive teams, but also different defensive approaches so that we're ready for whatever we see. Obviously, a lot to work on offensively in every one of those categories, but I think what was a standard for 3 nights here was really intense defensive intensity from our team.
Coach, just one more here. What does it say? You kind of mentioned how you guys obviously coming off a back-to-back, running on fumes. Kind of what does it say about your team that you're able to, like you said, battle in this game? Stonehill with a lot of fight coming back, but you're still able to fend them off and get the win. Just what does it say about the group as a whole?
I think it shows that they show a lot of resilience. This is a fun group to be around, and they, they're not perfect. Coach Ergo always says, "Hard together, not perfect," and I think that's how we played. We played hard. We played together. It wasn't perfect. I think, probably underrated, but Antrell Charlton, 7 assists. And late in the second half, he really got in the middle of the defense and delivered the ball down low to Rostic and Khalid. So just a lot of guys, did some important things at key junctures in the game.
Coach, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, Ram Nation.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Really appreciate Dave Paulson taking some time to talk with us there in the final minutes here on the broadcast. And a happy Thanksgiving. And, Mike, just final thoughts on the win today.
Just always great to get 3 wins, especially in a tournament like the Tom Konchalski Classic here at your home floor. You want to do the best possible job you can when you host a tournament, obviously, and they get 3 wins here. And, when Coach Paulson talks about learning new defensive styles and what the tournament served them, you got to be confident they learned a lot here on these 3 games, and they were able to pick up 3 wins doing so.
Good teams win and continue to get better, and that's what Fordham is going to try and do as they win this one 71-60 over Stonehill. And a happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners. But let's go back one more time to the Rose Hill Studios for more from the one-on-one post-game report. Take it away.
Back in the studios here at Rose Hill in the Bronx, I'm Kris Pursianen alongside Danny Scott, ready to resume our post-game breakdown of the Fordham Rams' defeat of Stonehill, 71-60, your final score. Just one more time there. Danny, I want to highlight a big statistical difference between these two teams. Stonehill took 7 more shots than Fordham, and yet Fordham made 2 more than they did. Stonehill shooting 36% from the field, as Coach just mentioned. Fordham having shot 46% from the field. What do you think they can look back at, not just this game, but the 3 games of the Tom Konchalski Classic here as a whole, and say that they learned about their team, good or bad?
Well, Fordham is, I think, has proven to be a phenomenal defensive team. They took 7 more shots and definitely shot worse than Fordham, but I think that's because a lot of Fordham players are very long and lanky. You look at Kyle Rose, Antrell Charlton, both about 6'5", 6'6" guard-type players. Even Darius Quisenberry is very, very good at defense. So when you got these guys that are long enough to kind of get their hand in the face of a shooter, it makes a big difference. And down low, you got 2 guys that both had 2 blocks today, and Abdou Simbila and Rostic Nowitzki, who were both very good down low. And I think they've proven that they can be an offensive-minded team. They've put up I believe it was 90 against Dartmouth. They put up 80 a couple of times. Even 71 is not bad, especially when you look at this Rams team historically. I think this team is very good, and when you have guys like Darius Quisenberry and Khalid Moore, they can trade off nights or trade. 14 points is not a bad night for Darius Quisenberry. Did it come on a super efficient shooting? No, but I mean, you go to the free throw line, you hit 5 of 6. That's another big stat that I think the Rams can improve on. 16 for 21 from the line isn't bad, but you'd like to see that number closer to 18, closer to 21 on the dot.
Free throws definitely how the Rams pulled out the win last night. I would say that game they took more free throws than I may have ever seen a college team take, but that wasn't any sort of slight from me on the referees. That gives credence to the Rams' ability to put pressure on the rim, draw contact, and get themselves to the free throw line. They were 76% from the line today as a team, as you mentioned, not fantastic, but they kept getting the ball and kept getting more chances to score. 2 more key statistics I want to run through before we wrap up our broadcast here. The rebounding battle. We looked at it at halftime. Let's take a look at how that ended up. 25 rebounds for Stonehill, 41 for your Fordham Rams. Did a really great job of keeping the glass clean out there. The other statistic I thought was very notable. Well, that was what the kind of percentage was of game time that the team spent with the lead, and Fordham spent 91.1% of this game leading. A really dominant performance for them. Now, the broadcasters, Mike and Sam, talked during the game, during that second half, going into it about how good teams can withstand those runs. We know it's a game of runs here in basketball. Good teams can withstand those runs from the other team. Stonehill absolutely got a run going, a real strong one as a team, put it together and attacked the Fordham defense. Fordham, kept their heels pushed into the mud there, held their ground, and were able to come out on top in what seemed like a real decisive victory by 11 points. So a lot for the Rams to take away from the Tom Konchalski Classic here. That's going to wrap up our coverage for Fordham men's basketball. In the studio alongside Danny Scott, I'm Kris Pursianen. We had Ryan Gregoire supervising and Brian Raybacks producing behind the scenes. Our sports director here at WFUV Sports is Bobby Chaffardini. Thanks for tuning in.